Welcome to the stream, everyone. We'll be live on the radio in about 90 seconds, 2 minutes maybe. And this latest racket that they're running, that Trump had the nuclear codes or something. This is beautiful. I tell you, their Trump derangement syndrome is getting pretty severe. This is I have not worn this shirt in a long time. I couldn't find this shirt. It's one of my Space Force shirts. This is my favorite Space Force shirt because if you look at the font is from Star Trek: The Next Generation. The logo and the font. Space Force, make space great again. Isn't that cool? Isn't that a cool shirt? This was at the back of my underwear drawer. I don't know what I was doing there, but it's a cool shirt. Oh no, special access. Oh no. Oh man. This is, what a joke. Here we go.
Late Thursday, Trump said he will not oppose the release of that warrant. A statement from the family of actor Anne Heche, who was involved in a fiery crash, says she will not survive her injuries and she's being kept on life support to see if her organs are viable for donation. This is ABC News.
The roar of our engines, the pump of our heartbeats, the pedal to our metal, the sparks that ignite us, the pistons that push us, the passions that drive us, from the feelings that move us to the places that pull us. On the road.
Here we go. I'm getting ready for them to put us on the air.
To the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Hey guys, good morning. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest running radio show, the Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 45 years on the radio this year. Man, do we have a lot to talk about today. This new narrative they have coming out of the Mar-A-Lago break-in is beautiful. Trump had the nuclear codes, nuclear documents. This is great. We're going to talk about that. I love it. I've got the article that first reported it. We'll go get ready to laugh. We're going to go through all that. And it is Friday. That means open phones. Anything and everything you have on your mind is fair game on the phones today. It is open phones. Not you can call in about anything you have on your mind, not just what I bring up or Steve bring up. You can call in about anything that's on your mind. So we call Fridays Open MAGA Mike Friday. So it's Open MAGA Mike Friday. I am going to talk about this nuke document raid, the nuclear codes or whatever they're claiming Trump had. We will talk about that. But anything you have on your mind is welcome. Our number toll-free, 888-GO-KANE-1. I want to comment just real quickly on Anne Heche. I like Anne Heche. I really do. She's a fine actress. She is brain dead, and they're going to remove her from life support. And she was coked up, apparently, in this accident. And what happened with Anne Heche, I hope Joe and Jill Biden are watching this story of Anne Heche. They probably don't even know who she is. He doesn't know who anyone is. He doesn't know who he is half the time, right? Calling himself vice president. But this business with Anne Heche, what happened with Anne Heche, is a terrible thing. I like Anne Heche. She's a fine actress. But she started to get some work again. She had not worked really for a long time. She started to get some work again. I think she's on a new television show or something, because I've seen her out there. I haven't seen the show. I don't know anything about it. But she's got money. She's had some money coming in. So what did she do? She went out and started getting coked up again. And look what happened. She's basically committed suicide. This is why you don't give addicts 10 cents. This is what happens. That's what kind of lowlife the Bidens are, to make this hardcore drug addict of a son they have. And I feel sorry for addicts. I do. Using him as a money mule. This is the dangers. You do not give addicts money. This is what killed Carrie Fisher. Carrie Fisher, Princess Leia, she died from an overdose. She had not had work in years, and she did these new Star Wars movies and had money coming in. I read her autobiography. The first thing she said was, I got my credit cards back. She went to Barney's and went shopping. She got those new Star Wars movies. She got money coming in. She went out and started doing the drugs again and killed herself. So I hope the Bidens are watching this and learn something. Don't give drug addicts money, Joe and Jill. Now, callers on hold, stand by. There's one opening on the board, but I do want to go over this story real quick. This latest racket that Garland and the Justice Department have come in. I'm going to read from the paper of Woodward and Bernstein. The Washington Post. Here's the headline. FBI searched Trump's home, Mar-A-Lago, to look for nuclear documents and other items, sources say. Classified documents relating to nuclear weapons were among the items the FBI agents sought in search of Donald Trump's Florida residence on Monday, according to people familiar with the investigation. Experts in classified information said the unusual search underscores deep concern among government officials about the types of information they thought could be located at Mar-A-Lago and danger of falling into the wrong hands. Blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I'll read further into that story later. But here's the deal. This is such BS. First off, yesterday at this time, all the stories, Newsweek and everything else, remember I talked about this on the air yesterday, right? Christopher Wray, the FBI director, did this raid on Mar-A-Lago without telling anyone. Didn't even brief Garland, just did it. And then, of course, in the early afternoon, we find out that Garland personally signed off on it. By the way, can you show up on time, Merrick Garland? We were all waiting by our televisions in America for like an hour. Gee whiz. Typical government liberal. And then Ray comes out, Garland comes out and said he personally did it. Signed off on it. Let me tell you. You know, so the story keeps evolving because they're liars. So now he's the Rosenbergs over there. What, he's got the nuclear codes, Trump? Don't they change their codes? Let me tell you. The nuclear classified information that I don't believe was there, by the way, but the classified nuclear information that they're talking about that they went over there to seize is safer at Mar-A-Lago than in the hands of this senile old Alzheimer's patient who can't put on a damn jacket, who keeps calling himself vice president, who's got a crackhead, hooker-addicted son running around, okay? Where are they safe? Would classified information be safer at Mar-A-Lago or with the Bidens? Give me a break. And you know, this nuclear document, you listen to these leftists in the media, they're out of their minds. By the way, Martha McCallum and Bret Baier are scumbags. Well, that's just a little mental note. Let me talk about that later, too. They're scumbags. They are disgusting people. Get over your ego. I'm sorry Carrie Lake made you look like a jerk, Bret Baier. By the way, you've had too much cosmetic surgery, Bret Baier. And Martha McCallum, shame on you. And enough of the scarves to cover up the neck. We all know you're getting older. We're all getting older. Anyway, Bret Baier's had too much cosmetic surgery. Martha McCallum hasn't had enough. And they're both jerks. But we'll talk about them later, maybe. But there's this new narrative, just to fine-tune it a little bit, this new narrative that they broke in to get these classified nuclear documents. They've not been specific about what they are, of course. It could be the nuclear codes. It could be design specs. It could be locations, or whatever they're alleging, right? These are all lies, another false narrative. And what this one does, they love this one. They love this one because it fits into that Russian narrative. Like he's got a bunch of nuclear class. Yeah, I know. Well, let's try to be a little more up to date on what's going on. You know, Fox News is now CNN. They're worse than CNN because, you know, CNN, we know what they are. They're the Clinton News Network. They're liberal hacks, and they're not embarrassed by it. MSNBC, same thing. Lawrence O'Donnell over there says he's a proud socialist, right? You know, Fox News is pretending to be something they're not. Fair and balanced news coverage. They hate Trump. They hate Trump like the plague, and they can't even hide it. You know, now that doesn't mean that everyone over there is a snake. There's some good people over there that I like, but I don't like Bret Baier. I used to, and I don't like Martha McCallum.
I used to watch them. As I to say I quit on election night. I have.
Okay. Yeah, well, you got to watch everything. If you want to be informed, you need to watch even the people you disagree with. You don't want to just get information from people you agree with. You want to find out what the other side is thinking, how they analyze things. I was reading the Huffington Post this morning about this BS story they have about Trump having nuclear codes or something at Mar-A-Lago. So it doesn't mean I like the Huffington Post. They're scummy. They're low-life liberal jerks. But I'm not a book burner. I'm open to getting all the information that even our enemies are putting out there.
But Brian, if you think about something, the day that Trump got on the airplane to fly away from Andrews, I think it was on January 20th, as he went away, all you could hear on news from then on, and I was not Fox, but other news, that
Well, I want to talk about what's going. I know it's open phones, on Friday, but I don't want to talk. I want to talk about what's going on now. I mean, I don't want to talk about 6 months ago or a year ago. I want to talk about what's going on now, and right now, they broke into a home of a president of the United States. I don't care. I wouldn't want them to do this to any Bill Clinton. You don't break into the homes of presidents of the United States, and this nuclear. Document BS that they just made up in the middle of the night. We better get something. It doesn't even pass what we call here the smile test. But to the left and to the Trump haters in the Republican establishment and into the mainstream corporate legacy media, it makes well. Of course, he has these nuclear documents. He's got to give them to Putin. Remember when he was president-elect? They were talking when he was president-elect to give him fake national security briefings because he would give them to Putin. And this fits into that delusion.
I agree with you completely, but a name that you mentioned that really, this is one of the big reasons that I called that raised the hackles on my neck, was Mark Meadows. And go back, and again, I hate to go back in time, but first week in December, and I'm 78 years old, help me with names, but there was a meeting in the White House. General Flynn, President Trump.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't see news regardless of how you tuned it in. She was there. She's from Texas. Anyway, she was there, and they had a fellow on that was a multi-billionaire, and I forget his name also. At my age, I forget names, but I won't forget events like this. He was the man that used to own the one about pork thing for cheap, and anyway, they were after Trump.
Mm. All right, I know you're hooked on all that stuff. Okay, hey, listen, I appreciate the call. I don't want to give the guy a hard time. I know it's open phones, but I don't want to just talk about stuff from a year and a half ago. I want to talk about what's going on now, okay? I'm sorry. One opening on the board. Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, this is Sandra from Indiana.
Hey, Sandra.
Hey, when I saw what your show was going to be about this morning, first thing came to my mind was the movie Failsafe with Henry Fonda. It's my understanding that anytime a new president is in office, that the code to the football, as they call it, is changed.
Well, they didn't say what the nuclear documents were. They didn't say they were. They're getting very vague about it now because people are asking questions. We don't know if it was codes, plans, locations. We don't know. But they're saying it was nuclear documents he had. But I'll tell you, you've heard me often talk. I saw President Trump the last 15 minutes of his first term when he returned home. He was still the official president of the United States. He had an entourage parade of military and national security vehicles and everything that was like 2 miles long. You know what I mean? So I'm sure they and the nuclear football was with him. Okay, but yeah, they changed the combination to the nuclear codes. Let me ask you, if it were the nuclear codes, right? Let's just say it was. And they didn't change the codes. Would the nuclear codes be safer at Mar-A-Lago today, or with this senile Alzheimer's patient with his crack-addicted son around? Where would they be safer?
In Florida.
At Mar-A-Lago. They'd be safer out on the sidewalk in front of Mar-A-Lago than they would with the Bidens.
Yes, definitely.
All right. Hey, listen, appreciate the call. All right. All right, you callers on hold, stand by. I do not have enough time before the break to take another call. But it is open phones. Our number, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. We call it Open MAGA Mike Friday. Open MAGA Mike Friday means anything and everything you have on your mind is fair game. Try to be relevant, I do ask, but it is open phones on Friday. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE-1, 888-465-2631. And we will get back to the calls after the break. Now, those of you that are new to the program, our number is toll-free. We take the calls screenless, so which you'll tell by the quality and lack of quality of some of them, but we take the calls screenless live on the air. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian, back after this. Which you'll tell by the quality and lack of quality of some of them, but we take the calls screenless live on the air. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian, back after this.
Making morning radio great again. I think you're gonna really love it. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. The greatest rock and roll hits of the 60s and 70s coming up this morning at 10 a.m. Now, here's the True Oldies weather forecast.
From the WPBF 25 First Warning Weather Center, this is meteorologist Brooke Silvering. We're looking at temperatures this afternoon reaching the high in the low 90s, but this time we have some scattered rain and storms possible developing later afternoon hours. A couple storms inland by the evening. Heading into this weekend, pack the umbrellas.
Where is that?
Back in the forecast.
Follow Oldies 95.3 and 96.9 on social media. See what's happening in the community. Have a laugh with some funny memes. And keep in touch with other good time Oldies lovers. Facebook and Instagram at Oldies South Florida. True Oldies. Traffic check.
In Lake Worth, I-95 southbound is going to be shut down by a multi-vehicle crash from Hyperlook to Gateway Boulevard. Stop and go traffic.
Oh, man. I tell you, it's one of those days.
Thank you, US 1 Congress.
It is one of those days.
The turnpike is moving up the speed and accident-free. The surface streets are
Oh, man, we had a big disaster here at the radio station before the show. Just was a mess this morning. Every line on the board is lit.
Fits your vehicle, air filters, tires, seat covers, and more. Get the right parts at the right prices. ebaymotors.com. Let's ride. Let's drop from Chris Barr.
Do you suffer from neuropathy? Maybe you do and you don't even.
I was afraid we weren't going to make it on the air this morning. There was a big problem.
Hands and feet, muscle weakness, loss of balance, muscle twitching. Are you not sleeping? Does it feel like pins and needles?
But we had a team of like 5 or 6 people, not including me, that were working on the problem before the show and got it fixed. So.
No charge consultation and say goodbye to your neuropathy symptoms. 754-222-6642.
Today on Hey Culligan, better water that cares. Jane's on the line.
Hey Culligan, how can I
Oh man.
all those plastic water bottles that harm the sea turtles?
So I will be going to Mar-A-Lago tomorrow, but that's about all I'm going to do this weekend. I have been going like mad. In fact, I was talking to my wife this morning before I left the house. I do not even remember the last 2 weeks. Have been a blur. I've been so busy. And, of course, here on YouTube, and I want to thank all of you. This week we broke 50,000 subs. In fact, we broke 51,000 subs this week on my YouTube channel. So thank you guys for subbing and for your support.
Call now and get your erection back.
And I'm going to go to Mar-A-Lago tomorrow. I will be doing that. But other than that, I'm not going to be doing too much over the weekend.
561-320-8893.
Parents, are you tired of helping put your kids' shoes on?
I'll be back in 2.5 minutes.
Anything but helping. Luckily, it's Skechers to the recipe.
Steve Kane Show. Hey, hold on. Steve Kane Show. Hold on. This is, let's see. Good morning, Sharon. You know, and by the way, welcome to all the new members to the channel as well. And thanks, I really do thanks everyone for supporting the channel and subbing. Hitting 50,000 and then hitting 51,000 in the same week was just awesome. It's very difficult for MAGA people to grow on, you know, YouTube. That's right.
As always, President Trump is right. The My Pillow is so good, even President Trump sleeps on one. Support Mike Lindell, President Trump at the Steve Kane Show.
Oh, there's gay Republicans.
Go to mypillow.com and use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout for huge savings on My Pillow products. Promo code KANE.
Garland made things worse yesterday.
mypillow.com.
You may be into punk rock.
60 seconds, we'll be back.
Or classic rock. R&B. Hip-hop. Or house. Country. Techno. Or techno-country. But no matter what kind of music you listen to, here's something else you should hear. Please consider getting vaccinated. Talk to your pharmacist today about Comirnaty, COVID-19 vaccine mRNA. This message brought to you by BioNTech and Pfizer.
Why choose proven quality sleep from Sleep Number? Because our Sleep Number 360 smart bed is really smart. It senses your movement and automatically adjusts to help keep you both comfortable. Plus, it's temperature balancing so you stay cool. It's even smart enough to know exactly how long, how well, and when you slept. Our smart sleepers get 28 minutes more restful sleep per night. Sleep Number takes care of the science. All you have to do is sleep. It's the biggest sale of the year where all smart beds are on sale. Save 50% on the Sleep Number 360 limited edition smart bed. Only for a limited time. To learn more, go to sleepnumber.com.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show, celebrating 45 years on the air.
All right, we are back. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. There's only one opening on the board at 1-888 go Kane 1-888-465-2631. It is open phones on Friday. We call it Open MAGA Mike Friday. And on Open MAGA Mike Friday, anything and everything you have on your mind, so long as it's relevant, is fair game, not just things that we bring up on the program. Now, before we move forward, callers on hold, stand by. Let me recap. Garland, who you know, Merrick Garland is a bitter, petty lowlife. And he's bitter because he didn't get that Supreme Court lifetime job where he doesn't have to do anything, right? So he's pissed about that. But if you're just tuning in, the new development is the Washington Post has a Justice Department source who tells them there were classified nuclear documents at Mar-A-Lago, and that's what they broke in for, okay? So that's the latest. And once again, before the sun is up, Steve Kane joining us. Hey, Steve.
Good morning.
Oh, man, this has been a hectic morning. I'm gonna tell you, without getting into the... Yeah. Well, that's okay. You're fine. I hear you. You sound okay. If there's any problems, I'll let you know. But I'll tell you, before we went on the air today, there was a little snafu here at the radio station, and I got to tell you, you know, there were a team of about half a dozen people at 5:15 in the morning, and I was not one of them. In that number that were working on all the problems and got everything up and running well before we went on the air today, so that was nice. Now, there is only one opening on the board. I am taking the calls in the order in which they were received, all right? 1-888 go Kane 1-888-465-2631. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Louisiana.
Oh, hey, Louisiana.
Good morning. How are y'all this morning?
Doing great.
Okay. Hey, what I'm calling?
Hey, let me ask you, how's Hunter Biden doing? Is he still hooked on the crack?
Just like John Jr.
Oh, Don Jr.'s on crack. That's a new one. Where's that story? Where do you get that at?
Fine. Did you see some of the interviews that he's high or he's so high?
No.
Oh, it's going to be one of those days.
Now, Hunter Biden, they found a crack pipe in the back of his rental car, and he's been in and out of rehab his whole life.
You won't admit it. You or Steve won't admit it, so I don't know.
Admit what? Admit what?
They thought John Jr.'s on some drugs, bro.
Okay, what are you, the dealer? How do you... All right, what'd you call in for today? Now that we've established your credibility, let's get to why you called. Wesley, how super chat? Thank you. Everyone thank Wesley.
I love how you don't like Brett Bear or Martin McCune, that's how you say that name. Because...
No, it's McCallum.
McCallum. If I say something against Trump that you don't like,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Why? Well, I'm so glad you asked, okay? Now, Martha McCallum and Brett Baer, what is their job description?
News reporters, as far as I'm concerned.
News reporters. That's correct. They're news reporters. They're anchors, okay? A news anchor, a news reporter, that's the job title. What is their job description? What is a news reporter, news anchor supposed to do? Report the news. What Martha McCallum and Brett Baer were doing yesterday was not reporting the news. They were doing very emotional commentary on the news. That's not being a news person. That's being an editorialist.
Of course, it was against Trump. So you don't like.
But you're not a person. A person that's a news reporter or anchor.
You would have loved.
If you're a news, excuse me, I'm talking, Louisiana. Oh, now Louisiana's trying to get hung up on. When you're a news reporter or news anchor, viewers are not supposed to know what your opinion is. You're supposed to present fair and balanced, non-biased reporting of the news, not high-fiving each other.
Like I said, if they were pro-Trump, they said something you wouldn't say this morning. So that's all I'm saying. And
yeah.
You know it's right. You know I'm right.
No, and you said something slanderous today. You said that Don Jr.'s on crack, and that's
He posted sometimes.
Can I jump
George,
in here?
remember,
I'm
welcome.
not sure if
You're cool. You're fine. Yeah, of course. I don't.
I just want to ask you. You seem to have a problem with the coverage last night with Brett Baer. Tell me why you're.
You talking to me? Yeah. Okay. I'll tell. Let me finish with Louisiana, then I'll answer with you, Steve. Okay. Louisiana just said something. You said that there is video of Don Jr. on crack. Can you send me that video so I can play it on the radio?
Well, I'll tell you what. Go to my.
No, I'm not. Yeah, no. You've got the video. You've got no. I'm not. You're not going to give out some phony website. You send me the video. Thank you for your call. You send me the video of Don Jr. on crack. I will play it live on our 6 radio stations. Okay, this is what I'm talking about, Steve, with Brett Baer and Martha McCallum. Brett Baer, who's had too much cosmetic surgery on the eyes. Martha McCallum has not had enough. She had some cosmetic work, and they didn't do her neck, and the neck it's oh my goodness. They were giddy during that coverage yesterday. Giddy. And after Merrick Garland came out and said nothing that was news, they treated it as if it was news, and then they started talking about how the ball is in Trump's court now, as opposed to reporting that he didn't give them any news. There was not one piece of information that Merrick Garland had, other than that he signed off on the warrant. But what their bias with Martha McCallum and Brett Baer, they could hardly contain their excitement yesterday of the break-in of Mar-A-Lago. They were practically high-fiving each other.
I didn't get that impression. I mean, I think they did a credible job under extremely difficult circumstances.
What was difficult for them?
Well, because they're shooting from the hip. The story was in progress, kind of like what we're doing here. It's not the easiest kind of broadcasting to do.
No.
didn't find them biased.
Oh, I found their body language bias. This is like Christmas to them. Bret Baier hates Trump. Martha McCallum hates Trump, and they couldn't contain themselves.
I agree with you that I've always had that impression that Bret is no big fan of Donald Trump's. But I think under those circumstances, I think he handled.
All right. I disagree. I disagree. People out there can call in. Now, there's one opening on the board where Louisiana leftists, in search of the Don Jr. crack video. Now, it is open MAGA Mike Friday, meaning open phones on Friday. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian and Steve. This is John in Welling.
Hey, John.
John, how are you?
I'm wonderful, Steve. You sound fantastic. I'm glad you're recovered.
Feeling good.
Great. Hey, the reason for my call is I'm not sure what the Democrats think Mr. Trump had in his safe, but it wasn't the nuclear football codes. The reason I say that is I was in the military for 20 years, and back in my day, those codes changed by the hour.
Yeah.
When a new president would come in. And nowadays, there's no telling how often it changes. It could be every second because everything's computerized these days. And I don't think it's nuclear locations because based on the SALT talks that us and the Soviet Union and later the Russian Republic signed off on.
Well, hold on. I want to, excuse me, John, let me cut back to where we were a few minutes ago. You watched the coverage last night. Did you get the feeling that Bret Baier was biased in his presentation of what was going on?
I did not watch. I haven't watched news since Mr. Trump left office. Everything.
So let me ask you, John. You know this nuclear. They're turning him into the Rosenbergs here. And if you this story on the nuclear, we don't know what it was. Codes, documents, locations, plans. We don't know what they're alleging in the Washington Post. But if you watch the liberal analysis of this, because this came out last night, they really they're fitting this in to the Russia hoax narrative that he has these documents to hand over to Putin. That's what they're implying.
Better have more than nuclear codes, or he's going to be in big trouble.
Yeah, he's got nothing. Garland. Yeah.
It's
weak.
What I think he really has is documentation that's just going to get them in deep trouble.
What I think they got is nothing. We got to run for our break, but they got nothing, and I know they got nothing, which we'll talk about as the show goes on. Callers on hold, stand by. It's the Steve Kane Show. Steve is here early today. I'm Brian Craig. 888-GO-KANE-1 is our number. Back with your calls on this open phones after this. Is here early today. I'm Brian Craig. 888-GO-KANE-1 is our number. Back with your calls on this open phones after this.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show on Oldies 95.3 and 96.9.
Hello, this is Mike at Friendly Tire. I've been in business 30 years at the same location and offering great deals on new and used tires. I have many suppliers. Whatever car or truck you have, I can get you incredible deals on any tire. I also do tire repairs at very low prices. Give me a call. My number is 954-977-9445. I will give you a price over the phone on new and used tires. Again, my number is 954-977-9445. Thank you.
Florida Luxury Cabinets is your local cabinet showroom right in Boca Raton, specializing in custom cabinets and countertops, providing luxury design and installation, each style embodying a distinct character and a vibe that's unique to your personality and style. Stop to our showroom at Florida Luxury Cabinets for your free consultation. Florida Luxury Cabinets, 2621 North Federal Highway in Boca Raton. Visit our website, FloridaLuxuryCabinets.com.
Remember, small leaks turn into medium leaks, and medium leaks turn into big problems. Call licensed contractor Tom Laporta for a free roof inspection. 954-604-4602. And tell him Steve Kane sent you.
Parents, are you tired of helping put your kids' shoes on? Squirming, watching cartoons, anything but helping. Luckily, Skechers to the rescue. Introducing new hands-free Skechers slip-ins. Footwear you can just get your kids to step into and their shoes are on. You don't need to bend over. You don't need to sit on the floor and try to wrangle them on. Actually, you don't even have to touch them. With Skechers slip-ins, they just step in and go. Plus, they're so easy, they could be the first shoes your kids can put on by themselves. And Skechers slip-ins are great for older kids too. They're quick, easy, and fun. The secret is a unique comfort pillow with a heel that helps your child's foot slide securely into place. Comfort. Plus, they're available in all types of Skechers styles with and without laces. And most are machine washable, so you can keep them looking newer longer. Get Skechers slip-ins, the where have you been all my life shoes, for your kids or for mom and dad today. Find Skechers slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish shoes are sold.
Do you suffer from neuropathy? I did, until I went to Lighthouse Medical Center in Pompano. Numbness, pain, burning, tingling in my hands and feet, muscle weakness, loss of balance, muscle twitching have all but disappeared. Say goodbye to your neuropathy symptoms. Call Lighthouse Medical Center for a free consultation. 754-222-6642.
Take on the social justice warriors for breakfast.
All right, we are back. I'm Brian. Steve Kane is here. Carla's on hold, stand by. You know, school is starting up again. College and all the public schools as well. Upgrade your student's bed with a MyPillow mattress topper. The 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper, 50% off with the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com. You know, your kids, college kids in the dorms, those beds, they're like sleeping on concrete blocks. Get them the 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper. Your other kids that are in high school, middle school, elementary school, they need a good night's sleep too. And the 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper comes in every mattress size there is, from twin all the way up to California and split king, and every size in between. So go to MyPillow.com, use the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, and get the 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper for 50% off, the lowest price ever on the 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper. You can also order by phone, toll-free, 1-800-716-4879, 1-800-716-4879, promo code KANE. All right, so you back with us, Steve? Okay, I want to
say one thing about the Brit Bear thing. I have gotten very turned off to Bret Baier recently because he has come out, he's made it very clear he's not a fan of Donald Trump, and as you know, I'm one of Donald Trump's premier fans. I marveled yesterday watching Bret Baier under the gun. Believe me, it is very tough doing these things with articles and quotes and voices coming in from, you know, trying to sort everything out and figure out what's going on and all the confusion. I was amazed that Bret Baier was able to do as neutral.
Oh my goodness!
As he.
What are you, his press agent?
Well, no, I'm just giving you a different opinion.
All right, PR Steve on the. That's fine. That's fine.
I if you could point to some things.
I told you his body language. He was so giddy about the break-in. He's happy at the break-in, and here we are. Here we are. President Trump has not been on Fox News as a guest for about 114 days now, and that's. Under the gun. What was he in a war zone? He was in the air-conditioned studio, sitting on his butt. I don't know what you mean under the gun and difficult. Please. Now I want to.
Trying to sort out.
It's not complex. It's not complex. What's complex about it? The government's corrupt. They hate Trump, and they broke into his house. That's it. Now
Broke into his house?
No, his friends did. Bret Baier's friends, the Never Trumpers. Now, before we go back to the calls, I want... All right. Okay. Now, there's only one opening on the board. I want to play the full audio. I played the beginning of it. We got some breaking news here that I picked up this morning, too, that I want to share. One of President Trump's beautiful attorneys, he has very attractive attorneys. This is Christina Bobb. And Christina Bobb was at Mar-A-Lago when the FBI broke in. She wasn't allowed in to see what was going on. And what she broke, and I'll play you the audio here, is beautiful. That we don't just have cameras at Mar-A-Lago that record everything. It's a live video feed, CCTV, closed-circuit television, and that Mar-A-Lago live CCTV feed is fed directly to Trump Tower in New York, and the Trump family were watching the entire ransacking of Mar-A-Lago by the FBI. Listen to this.
It's kind of funny. I think the folks in New York, President Trump and his family, probably had a better view than I did because they had the CCTV that they were able to watch. I was stuck in the parking lot there to collect paper and answer questions, but they were actually able to see the whole thing. So they actually have a better idea of what took place inside.
And so that was another point of controversy that I've read two different, completely contrasting reports on. One said that the FBI actually made them turn off all of the cameras. You're telling me that they didn't. Please elaborate.
Well, they did. So initially they said you need to turn off all the cameras, and then of course the staff complied and said, oh, the FBI is making us turn off the cameras, and then the lawyers jumped in and said, no, you actually don't have to turn them off. So shortly after they turned them back on. So the cameras were only off for a very short period of time.
Wow. So there was a live video feed the Trump family were watching in New York at Trump Tower, and the cameras were on except for a couple of seconds there. So this is, that's, by the way, that's breaking news you're getting right there. All right, let's go to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Richie.
Hey, Richie.
Good morning, Steve. Good morning, Brian.
Good morning.
Steve, Brian, what Brian just said to you is exactly the whole story. I mean, when he said they broke into President Trump's house because they hate him. And that's the whole story. Now let me explain myself.
First of all, hold on. Bret Baier didn't break into anybody's house. You guys are confusing.
His friends did.
I mean, I understand that it's a complex plot line here. I understand that.
It's not.
Well, if you got Bret Baier breaking into Trump's house, I would suggest maybe you have few things you got to sort out.
You're confused, Steve. I didn't say Bret Baier broke in. The FBI broke in to Trump's house because they hate Trump, and Garland hates Trump. And here's the deal. And Brian hit it right on the head. First of all, the New York Times wrote an article recently that Garland's reputation and history is on the line if he doesn't indict Trump. The news media all over the place, the liberal news media wanted them to indict Trump. Everyone wants him to get Trump. The January...
I understand that, but that's not what we're talking about.
No, we're moving on to some other things. We're not just talking about the Bret Baier thing. We're moving on to he's moving on to some other things.
Okay, I mean, I hope you don't have me, in your mind, have me support...
Listen, a couple things here. I've been watching this snake Bret Baier, who had too much cosmetic eye surgery. Looks ridiculous, but he's very happy about the break-in. Now, so far as Garland, who is bitter that he didn't get the lifetime Supreme Court post that Obama appointed him to, blames Trump for that, and the Republicans, and he is a bitter guy.
Garland has been under a lot of pressure to indict Trump. Now, I don't know if you realize that there's a sweep going on. It wasn't just Mar-a-Lago. The Pennsylvania, what do you call it?
The electors and Congress people. Yeah. Yeah.
I understand there's
they raided everyone but Ray Epps.
House because you got a warrant find there's other stuff.
Wait a minute. You know, they had a warrant to go into that Breonna Taylor house. Now all of a sudden, look at who they've raided. I want you to think about this, right? President Trump, Michael Cohen when he was Trump's attorney, Mayor Giuliani, Project Veritas people, including James O'Keefe, Merrick. Who else did they go through? Manafort, Roger Stone. Look at all these Trump people's homes they've broken into, the feds, and ransacked. And Brett Baier, I know you're with us on it. I don't know what we're not disagreeing. We're not disagreeing. We're agreeing. This is I maybe you want to be attacked. I don't know. But what I'm talking to, I had Fox News on for about an hour yesterday because Merrick Garland, like a typical liberal, can't be anywhere on time. And I was listening to the coverage longer than I normally do on Fox. It was like MSNBC. And they're not putting any of the pieces together like I'm doing, like Richie's doing. They're just acting like this was a legitimate break-in.
In there with those doctors.
Now I want to ask you a question. Richie. I want your opinion on this. Steve's going to go ballistic probably, so be prepared. Okay. And I'm serious about this, and I want to hear calls on this. Okay. Be prepared to answer quickly in case Steve has a volcanic eruption of frustration. Okay. This break-in of Mar-A-Lago was one of the biggest political news stories of my lifetime, I would say. This is unheard of. Tucker Carlson's been off all week. Kilmeade was in last night. Will Cain was on the other couple nights. And I've thought this for a couple days and have not brought it up on the air. I wanted another night of it. Tucker Carlson was at the Live Golf Tournament in Bedminster with the president, which was very unusual. And then all of a sudden, they got a confidential informant close to Trump, and the feds broke in. I'm suspicious and thinking that Tucker Carlson may be the informant. What do you think? He's been off all week.
I don't think so at all. I don't know Tucker Carlson because in the Trumper, he wants to get ratings. It was, I know.
Why is he not? If he wants ratings, why isn't he on this week? If he had a vacation, you call it off.
If you're interested, I've got a theory.
Okay.
I believe that Tucker Carlson is obviously personally connected with a lot of the principals in this story, and I think Tucker has a very exalted view of his position over there, and I think it very well could be that he had things he wanted to say that management didn't want him to say, and they might have given him a paid vacation.
He's on one of those Foxcations. Yeah.
Rather than hassle it through and get involved in a discussion.
Oh, okay. So that means yours is so you believe Fox News is compromised. They're doing false reporting on the break-in, and Tucker will spill the beans. No, didn't say any of that. I'm saying that Tucker, as opposed to the other hosts up there, Tucker is a loose cannon. They can't tell Tucker, don't say this, because he has an exaggerated view of his own self-importance, and they didn't want to have a debate. No. Oh, okay. So they want yes men. Real quick, Rich, we got a break. So quick.
Real quick.
Yes, go ahead.
Here's the deal. There's no excuse to break again. None.
That's right. All right, take care. All right, we're coming up on... I'm glad we got the last word on that. Callers on hold, stand by. It's open phones today. We'll take our top of the hour break. Back to your calls. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. 888-GO-KANE1's the number. Back after this. Phones today. We'll take our top of the hour break. Back to your calls. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. 888-GO-KANE1's the number. Back after this. Well, there is... don't you think it's strange that Tucker is off this week? It is very strange that he is off on this big news week. Very strange. And Steve's theory is worse. That he'll report the news. Steve Kane Show. Oh. They don't want him. There's only one opening on the board. They don't want him on there reporting the news as Steve's story. There's definitely, this is not just a right. If you have a regular vacation, you would come back in his position for a story this big.
See what's happening in the community, have a laugh with some funny memes, and keep in touch with other good time oldies lovers. Facebook and Instagram at Oldies South Florida. True Oldies.
No, there's something suspicious about it.
I-95 heading south on a Hyperluxor road. All lanes are still blocked by a fatal crash. Traffic is being forced off on Hyperluxor Road, but then using the on-ramp to get back onto 95 heading south. You get to Dixie Highway, Congress Avenue, Military Trail, jog over the turnpike instead. We also have a new multi-vehicle crash now on I-95 heading southbound just before 10th Avenue North. That's blocking 3 left lanes there, so the southbound side is starting to get slower. As for the turnpike, we are still in center free, moving up the street.
If you're new here, make sure you subscribe. And everyone, please like the video. Oh, really? Shapiro came back from vacation.
Air filters, tires, seat covers, and more. Get the right parts at the right prices. ebaymotors.com. Let's ride. Let's drop them, Chris Barr.
Here's your True Oldies ABC News.
Wow.
ABC News now. I'm Todd. The FBI searched former President Trump's home this week because agents believe he had documents.
He's on a Foxcation for hanging out with Trump. You never know.
With the court-authorized search told ABC News, the Justice Department and the FBI came to believe former President Trump retained sensitive, classified documents with national security implications. In recent weeks, we're told, the FBI obtained additional information suggesting Trump was not complying with the request to turn over the material. It is so sensitive, authorities wanted to immediately retrieve it. Some of the information...
They change the new codes like constantly. Throughout the day, they change. Dave Rubin is not Tucker Carlson. Prime time on Fox News. All right, we're getting ready to come back now.
Here to keep you firing all cylinders.
Opinions are like everyone's got one. Get yours in. The Steve.
All right, we are back. Callers on hold, stand by. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. Steve Kane is here. Our number, 888-GO-KANE-1, 888-465-2631. Let me recap the lot of breaking news coming out today. Let me recap the breaking news, and then we'll go to the phones. And it is open phones, open MAGA Mike Friday, which means anything and everything you have on your mind is fair game, but please try to be relevant to what's going on in our world. I don't need to hear what your favorite type of meatball is, okay? You understand what I mean by that. So we've got some breaking news, and then I was listening to our news at the top of the hour, and they dropped something too, which I'll add to it. Okay, so they got this phony baloney story in the Washington Post this morning. They got a Justice Department source that says that President Trump at Mar-A-Lago had highly classified nuclear secrets. They didn't say what these secrets are, right? Nuclear codes, plans, we don't know. But documents that are only for those that have the highest security clearance, they said at our top of the hour news. President Trump was president of the United States. He currently holds for life the highest security clearance one can obtain and receives the presidential daily briefing every day if he wants it. All former presidents do. So anything he has is not a violation. I don't believe the story. The second breaking news that we have this morning is that not only is there video recordings of the Mar-A-Lago break-in, but that the Trump family had a live video feed from Mar-A-Lago to Trump Tower and watched the entire ransacking of Mar-A-Lago by the feds. That is new information and some pretty good stuff. All right, I am going to take the calls the best I can in the order in which they were received, but the phones are very, very busy. And since we take the call screenless, I cannot always keep track of who called first, last, and in between. So if you've been on hold for a while, I will get to your call, but you got to bear with us, okay? Here we go. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Ira.
Okay. Ira, where are you calling from?
Texas.
Where?
Texas.
Texas. All right, Texas. You're on the radio. What's on your mind?
Hello. I'm scared that they're going to try and...
All right. Well, I'm glad we took her. Let's wait for the delay to build back up, and then we'll take some more calls. There's one opening on the board. There's some things you should know better than to talk about. I mean, some people have they're as coherent as Biden, quite frankly. All right, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. While I'm waiting for the delay to build back up. Oh, my goodness. You with us, Steve? Okay. I thought I lost the connection. I heard a noise. I thought it was you. The other thing we were discussing, and I'll just recap this while the delay builds back up before we take any more calls. That was only the first time I had to use the dump button today, so that's good. Usually by this time it's 2 or 3. No, usually it's 2 or 3 by this time. Yeah. We were talking about Tucker Carlson's absence, and I don't know what the reason is. I just know that it's strange. This is Ben Shapiro. I've been told was on vacation this week, came back because of this big story. Steve's story is Fox News is keeping him off the air, perhaps because he'll report the truth, and I guess Fox doesn't want the truth as told by Tucker on his program this week. He's on one of those Foxcations that they send people on to silence them. That's one possibility.
So let me put it in my words. What I'm saying is, Fox is under the gun too with this a lot. They want to get it right. They want to have some kind of control.
They want to get it right.
Control, but some kind of control over the programming that's coming out of there. And Tucker is not a man to be controlled. And rather than...
I mean, come on.
Yeah, the people into Rupert Murdoch, although I must tell you, speaking about Rupert Murdoch, and this is something you have to program in, if you follow the coverage of the story in the New York Post, it's very pro-Trump in the New York Post, and Rupert Murdoch owns that publication. So put that in the mix.
Okay. There's one opening on the board. We'll go back to the phones. The delay has built back up, so we can take some calls again. Good morning. You're on the radio. Oh, yes. Good.
A quick heads up. I was at a political event for MAGA, Jenna Haig, last night, and I told her to call into the show because I think...
Oh, that's great. You've moved from chronic caller to producer and booker. That's great. You're booking guests for us. Appreciate that. So there's someone running for Congress that I've never heard of that you told to call in today?
Yeah, she's
for free advertisement?
Well, I thought you might want to speak to her.
I don't even know who she is. I don't know.
Jenna, Hague. She's running for state.
Okay. I don't know. What would she add to the program? What would she add to the program? I don't know. Or maybe I'm sure she's a good person. She's MAGA, but other than vote for her.
All right.
Now, Doug, we'll book our own guest. Okay. Do you mind? Oh my goodness. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, gentlemen. Ben from Pompano.
Hey, Ben.
So there's two things I want to bring up. One was the fact that, the rate at which they're going after Trump's people is so great. I still thought, what they did to Steve Bannon was unprecedented.
Oh, I forgot about Bannon on my list. Yeah, and Papadopoulos. Don't forget Papadopoulos.
Exactly. And then, don't forget about that. And then also I have a theory. I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to antagonize the Trump base so they'll do something like reckless again, like January 6th, by terrible behavior against.
Well, what they're doing now, okay, with this is these people. They're so stupid, but they think they're brilliant, right? Yeah, they think they're brilliant. These Beltway insiders, Washingtonian people, right? That think that it's their country and we're just living in it. I don't think so, Steve. I think they're stupid. And let me tell you what their play is now. This is what their new scheme. They've always got a scheme, right? They always got a scheme. Yeah. Yeah, and their schemes work just as well as the Coyote versus the Roadrunner, right? But here's their latest scheme, right? They said that there were some nuclear secrets over there, and they have an informant inside the Trump family, they said yesterday. That's what they leaked out through Newsweek and the Washington Post. So they think they're going to cause a divide inside the Trump family and organization, that they got a spy in their midst. They think they're running psyops on the Trump family and Trump organization. Nobody believes that. They don't have squat. If they had anything, the most effeminate attorney general I've ever seen, Merrick Garland, who's more effeminate than the female cabinet. I mean, he's more effeminate than Mayor Pete, I'm here to tell you, okay? And I know he had nothing, because if they had documents, he would have shown them to us redacted, okay, with all the black marker through everything. But he's got nothing.
If the best they have is the nuclear codes, that's their excuse for going in, they're in real trouble.
Yeah, and the other thing about it is, he says, well, we've asked the court to let us, that scumbag Epstein lawyer that gave them the warrant said yesterday morning after we got off the air that the Department of Justice should release the warrant. So what are they going to filing motions? They're putting it off, is what they're doing.
Yeah, I know. It's pathetic. And right now we just got to follow it hour by hour because, I don't know what's going to happen. They've made reports, and then this Merrick Garland comes.
What do you make of Tucker's absence this week during the story of the decade?
Well, two things. One, I don't like it because he would be the first person after Steve Bannon, he'd be the first person I'd go to get like the lowdown on what's going on. And secondly, I heard what you said about, was it Steve or someone who said he might be the insider, the mole? I highly doubt that. I think Tucker's pretty authentic. I don't think he would,
Well, Steve thinks they're keeping him off.
Do you think Tucker's controllable, caller?
I think he's so popular that they have to have a very long leash on him if they have any at all. But I do believe Fox.
Well, let me ask you this: compare him to Hannity. Who do you think it's easier for management to?
Oh, please.
Who do you think between Hannity?
So Fox is trying to craft a message about the break-in of Mar-A-Lago, and Tucker will expose it as yeah.
It's on the coverage, and I think they know they.
Yeah. Yeah, because they hate Trump. They want to control it.
Fox hates Trump, and I don't think Tucker does. And Tucker says what he feels, where Hannity is more aligned with the.
Well, he's got that alimony now from his first wife. He's got now, and it's big. All right, we got a break. Well, it's because he has the alimony every month. We'll be back. If you're on hold, stand by. It's a Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian. First wife he's got now, and it's big. All right, we got a break.
Team player.
We got a break. Well, it's because he has the alimony every month. We'll be back. If you're on hold, stand by. It's a Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian.
Wake up and smell the truth. The Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Morning 6 to 9 on Oldies 95.3 and 96.9.
Florida Luxury Cabinets is your local cabinet showroom right in Boca Raton, specializing in custom cabinets and countertops, providing luxury design and installation, each style embodying a distinct character.
Hey, everyone in the chat, tell me how long you've been listening to me. It can be, since the radio, YouTube, wherever. However you found me, not where, but how long have you been listening to me in this program? Oh, I'm not irritated at all. Maybe a little over-caffeinated. 22 years, oh my goodness. 2 years, 1 year. Too long. 2017, 6 months, couple of weeks. Welcome, Florida Lawn. 6 years since the Liberty Eagle days. Yep.
Are you feeling over the hill, tired, sluggish, taking those midday naps, just not feeling yourself? There is help. If you want to look and feel like you did when you were young, call Dr. Mitch Matez at the
2020, 2019, 18 months. Trump in midterms, awesome. 6 months.
And make sure to tell him you heard about him on the radio.
Why choose proven quality sleep from Sleep Number? Because our Sleep Number 360 smart bed is really smart. It senses your movement and automatically adjusts to help keep you both comfortable. Plus, it's temperature balanced.
I don't know why, Burt Reynolds giggle. Why don't you butch up and be a man with a pair of balls and call in instead of hiding behind fake screen names and acting like you're all tough? What a coward. Like a Klansman with a hood on in the middle of the night. A few weeks. Welcome, Silver Wheel.
He is the greatest. First of all, he does make a great product.
Yeah, the truth hurts. You're a wimp and a coward.
From day one. The My Pillow guy. And he's been with us right from the beginning.
As always, President Trump is right. The My Pillow is so good, even President Trump sleeps on one. Support Mike Lindell, President Trump, and the Steve Kane Show at the same time. Go to mypillow.com and use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout for huge savings on My Pillow products. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at mypillow.com. Ready to get fired up? Just 60 seconds and you'll be racing for the phone. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Show with Brian Craig.
Alrighty, we're back. I'm Brian. Steve Kane is here. I got to take a moment to tell you guys about Friendly Tire in Margate. Oh, man, I've been buying tires at Friendly Tire for over a decade, since before they were a sponsor of the Steve Kane Show. And they have the lowest price on new tires you'll find anywhere. By the way, they have thousands of used tires in stock, starting at just $30 for most sizes. But new tires, you'll find new tires over there for as low as $70 on new tires, out the door and on the road. Because Mike at Friendly Tire does not charge you to mount the tire, balance the tire, or even dispose of your old tires. But they became an advertiser here on the Steve Kane Show. Steve... once every couple of years would get new tires, and every time I would say, when you go to get new tires next time, let me take you to Friendly Tire, and I would tell you the prices, and you didn't believe me. You're like, there's no way, new tires that low, there's no way. And then you came in one day in your van and the treads were showing, and I got you to go over there, and you called me. You say, you were right, the tire prices over here, new tires, so low, I can't believe it. And that is true. In fact, all the tires in my household are from Friendly Tire. They also do tire repairs, which other places don't do. Last week, I had to take my wife's car over there to have a tire repair done. They have all the brand names you know and you love and you want. Goodyear, Firestone, all the rest. And like I said, the prices that he quotes you over the phone are out the door and on the road. He doesn't charge you to balance, mount, or dispose of your old tires. Here's the number. Give Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire a call. His number, 954-977-9445. He's also open on Saturdays, okay? 954-977-9445. All right, it is open phones, open MAGA Mike Friday. Anything and everything you have on your mind is fair game. Although Steve and I are touching on a few different things here, you can bring up your own topics so long as they're relevant. I'll add that. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. I am more than a little over-caffeinated today. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm shaking like Hunter Biden when he needs a fix, but I'm on a caffeine thing here. All right, good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning. How are you?
Good. How are you? What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Oh, yeah. Yes. My name is Mike from Cold Spring.
All right.
Yeah, I'm calling because as I'm listening to the news media, I've noticed now they're talking about the abolish. So now, my thing is, it's so funny how for years the black community has been calling out on how the police force, the CIA, the feds, how they are so crooked, and you guys was like, oh no, you do the
Okay. Well, no, I'm glad you called. We're going to get some information because you threw in more. Yeah, okay. So you want to abolish law enforcement. What do you do for a living? What are you, a criminal? Who wants to abolish law enforcement?
I've seen topics of...
No, I asked you if you're a criminal. You didn't answer that question. Okay. Okay, you say that law enforcement, the cops, are out to get blacks. You're a black man in America. Give me any... You're not black? No, it doesn't. It's okay to be black. Okay, we're not liberals. We don't have any prejudice here. I know. You're more conservative than we are.
The FBI, the fans, and cricket, because you got to get in touch of your own medicine.
Oh, okay. Okay. So give me an example as a black man in America. Okay. Don't pass as not black. What is wrong with you? Why are you trying to pass as not what you are? I'm a white guy in America. You're a black guy in America. Give an example to the audience of something you as a black man in America have experienced from law enforcement that is just harassment and you weren't doing something. Racial discrimination.
I tell you what, though. For the past few years, I've watched Breonna Taylor.
No, I'm not talking about watching the news. I'm talking about you personally. You know, if Breonna Taylor lived with a drug dealer and there was a warrant and they took a gun out at the cops when they broke in, they're going to shoot back. What is something that where you have experienced racial discrimination from law enforcement as a black man in America?
Well, you know, as a black man in America, I have to tip you out and go to make sure I don't get it.
Okay, so you've had no racial run-ins with the cops. So what are you talking about?
Here's the unbelievable thing to you. You don't think, you believe that I have the same, I'll say, privilege to just walk to a store without being under surveillance.
Oh, okay. Okay, where you're calling me from Coral Springs. Where in Coral Springs are you? I know Coral Springs.
Give you my address.
No, like what intersection? What is the nearest major intersection? Like Sample University, Atlantic and University, 441? Is it?
I'm on Atlantic on Ramblewood Drive.
Okay, you're over by actually you're over by Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs, one of our sponsors, in the Coral Square Mall. Okay, Wings Plus, that's right. So tell me, okay, so on Ramblewood and University by Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs, by the Coral Square Mall, where can I walk that you can't? Because you're black and I'm white.
Sir, come on now.
No, you said you can't walk place, so I want to know where you can.
Oh, it's amazing how you think that you and I have the same privilege of just...
Well, what can I do? Give me a specific example of something I can do that you cannot because I'm white and you're black.
What you could do is you could walk freely without being...
Okay, so tell me where in Coral Springs you cannot walk freely, but I can.
Oh, that's almost everywhere.
Well, give me a specific example. If you walk, you're on... Okay, so if you walk to the... Yeah.
And it's how, like I was saying, it was all about funding the police, funding this, funding that.
No. That's not the point you were making. The point that you were making, excuse me, you're a race hustler and paranoid. You're a race hustler. Let me tell you something. I know Coral Springs. It's a good city. There is no racial discrimination in Coral Springs. You can't give me any discrimination you faced. You're in the heart of it, but you still are out there telling people it exists. You're like Al Sharpton. You're a race hustler. Yeah. Shame on you. Shame on you.
Calling on the FBI all of a sudden. Now all of a sudden FBI.
All right. Thank you for your call. Oh my goodness. He's a low-level race hustler. You know, but he doesn't have a private jet like Sharpton. But he's trying. You know, and you know what's crazy about that guy? He actually thinks there's places he can't go in Coral Springs as a black man. Even though I asked him like 5 times and he can't name one, he still thinks he can't. That guy's out of his mind. All right. There's one opening on the board where the Race Hustler was at 1-888-GO Kane 1. We're just about a minute away from the next break, so I don't have time to take a call right now. So we will take the rest of the calls we have on hold right now after the break. Callers on hold, stand by. Phone's very busy today. If you don't hang in there, chances are you will not be able to get back in because, of course, it is open phones on Friday. Open MAGA Mike Friday. Anything and everything you have on your mind, including race hustling, apparently, from the last call, is fair game on the program today, or at least an attempt at race hustling. 1-888-GO Kane 1 is the number. 1-888-465-2631. It's the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 45 years on the radio today. Now, if you miss a part of the Steve Kane Show and you want to catch it later in the day, on our radio station website, oldiesouthflorida.com, about an hour after the show each day, the Steve Kane Show is uploaded on the podcast page there, so go there and check it out. Back after this. SouthFlorida.com. About an hour after the show each day, the Steve Kane Show is uploaded on the podcast page there, so go there and check it out. Back after this.
Bringing the heat to your radio every morning. It's the Steve Kane Show on Oldies 95.3 and 96.9. The greatest rock and roll hits of the 60s and 70s coming up this morning at 10 a.m. Now,
Grassroots race hustler. Oh my goodness.
From the WPBF 25 First Warning Weather Center, this is meteorologist Brooke Silver. And
Good morning, Debbie. Some good calls today.
But this time we have some scattered rain and storms possible developing later afternoon hours. A couple storms inland by the evening. Heading into this weekend, pack the umbrellas.
No, it includes stupidity, Michael. We've heard from a couple of those today.
95.3 and 96.9 on social media. See what's happening in the community. Have a laugh.
It most definitely includes stupidity.
With other good time oldies lovers. Facebook and Instagram at Oldies South Florida. True Oldies. Traffic check.
I-95 heading south on a Hypoluxo Road. All lanes are still blocked by a fatal crash. Traffic is being forced off on Hypoluxo Road, but then use the on-ramp to get back onto 95 heading south. You can take Dixie Highway, Congress Avenue, Military Trail, Jogwood, or the Turnpike instead. We also have a new multi-vehicle crash now on I-95 heading southbound just before 10th Avenue North. That's blocking 3 left lanes there, so the southbound side is starting to get slower. As for the Turnpike, we are still incident-free, moving up the speed, and the surface routes are still crash-free. This report is sponsored by eBay Motors. You might have the biggest garage on the block, but with eBay Motors, there's 122 million parts right at your fingertips. Whatever you need, there's something that fits your vehicle. Air filters, tires, seat covers, and more.
The bottom of the hour break is our longer break. Our other breaks are pretty short.
Hello, this is Mike at Friendly Tire. I've been in business 30 years at the same location and offering great deals on new and used tires. I have many suppliers. Whatever car or truck you have, I can get you incredible deals on any tire. I also do tire repairs at very low prices. Give me a call. My number is 954-977-9445. I will give you a price over the phone on new and used tires. Again, my number is 954-977-9445. Thank you.
Crawl through the window, tell the story, Brian Craig?
I'm a speed bump.
What are you talking about? At the old studio, crawling through the window? Or here? I don't know what you mean, Rome.
And if you have cut-rate car insurance, the cost to reattach your muffler could really be a bump in the road. So switch to Allstate, save money, and be better protected from mayhem.
Oh, boy.
Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Allstate Bar and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
It's hurricane season, and if you have a wet spot on your ceiling, you have a leak in your roof. When we had a leak in our roof at the Kane household, we called Tom Laporta. He's the best in the business. Remember, small leaks...
I had to crawl through a window inside the building, not to get into the building, yes. Oh, yes, that's correct. Steve and I, we had a studio and a control room, and I didn't have a key to Steve's studio, and I'd have to crawl through the window from the control room to the studio. Yeah, I'm sure there's some videos of me doing that way back when at the old studio here on my YouTube channel.
will test your battery for free.
Yeah.
If your battery does need to be replaced,
Now things have gotten elevated around here. I have people that crawl through the windows now for me. I don't have to do it anymore. So we got like a whole staff here now. Yeah, of course I'm okay.
Do you suffer from neuropathy? I did until I went to Lighthouse Medical Center in Pompano.
Well, it's 7:45. I'll make sure there's a free line for him.
Loss of balance, muscle twitching have all but disappeared.
Ed Pazwali. Yeah, he's still around. I get messages from him sometimes.
Medical Center for a free consultation.
That's correct. Yes.
6642.
We got about a minute and a half, 2 minutes, and then we'll be back.
Put your kids' shoes on, they're squirming, watching cartoons, anything but helping. Luckily, it's Skechers to the rescue. Introducing new hands-free Skechers slip-ins. Footwear you can just
Oh, man.
step into and their shoes are on. You don't need to bend over. You don't need to sit on the floor and try to wrangle them on. Actually, you don't even have to touch them. With Skechers slip-ins, they just step in and go. Plus, they're so easy, they could be the first shoes your kids can put on by themselves. And Skechers slip-ins are great for older kids too. They're quick, easy, and fun. The secret is a unique comfort pillow in the heel that helps
New Hampshire. Hey, Dave. Dave in New Hampshire. Welcome.
Plus, they're available in all types.
Sometimes I don't talk too much during the break sometimes because I gotta rest my mouth and throat. You know, I do the radio show, my podcast. I voice over these commercials you hear on the podcast and the radio. So my mouth and throat get a lot of action. So my jaws are just a little tired. Like right here, just a little sore.
Plus in Coral Springs. Wings just the way you like them. Plump, tender, and delicious, crispy on the outside.
So like now I'm talking, but I'm not moving my mouth too much, just my lips.
Nothing comes out of a can. Dozens of specialty sauces that will make your mouth water.
Oh no, I'm fine.
Located in Coral Springs.
I've been running myself ragged lately. Kathy, my wife, says I need to
This radio commercial
slow down a little bit.
convince you to stop speeding.
All right, this should be the last commercial.
Sound effects on the radio, so we'll use other equally jarring sound effects to get your attention, like telling you that whether you drive a little over the speed limit or a lot, you can crash just the same. You could hurt yourself or worse, others. And the damage you cause will be beyond repair. See, we didn't have to use crash or siren sounds after all. Speeding catches up with you. Brought to you by NHTSA.
All right.
Your face. The Steve Kane Show.
All righty, we are back. I'm Brian. Steve Kane is here. It is open phones. Yes.
I wanted to take care of before we go back to the phones. This weekend, what kind of appearances has done?
None. In fact, I don't have... No, I have been told, and if somebody has the details on this, that President Trump has canceled an event. Yeah, since the break-in of his home. Yeah. Now there is an event in Arizona this weekend. It won't be on television. Maybe it'll be on Newsmax. Kerry Lake and Ron DeSantis have an event out in Arizona this weekend. Newsmax may carry that. Oh, let me play this clip. I picked this up from Newsmax. This is great. Oh yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Story which is fresh. I mean, it's.
Yep.
Is that going to be introduced today?
Oh yeah, everywhere. It's going to be everywhere today. It came out last night in the Washington Post. It's going to be everywhere today. Yeah.
Is the Trump people going to confirm it from the get-go, or
confirm it? It's made up. How can they confirm a lie? It's not true. Yeah. The Justice Department told the Washington Post. That is where that story comes from. All right, now I want to play this quick clip, and it is quick. I might have to play it twice for you to hear it, but it's so good. It does cut off abruptly, unfortunately, but it's still good. Newsmax TV went and talked to this lunatic liberal anti-Trump protester in front of Trump Tower, and you got to listen to this. This is beautiful.
Is this unprecedented to arrest a former president for not turning in documents?
Well, a former president that had committed this many
provable criminal acts.
But what are the provable criminal acts, I guess?
Provable criminal acts. Well, I'm done talking.
I'm done talking. Isn't that great? Isn't that great? Oh my goodness. Obviously Newsmax listens to this program and are handling their interviews on the street like we handle our callers. Yeah. Okay, there's only one opening on the board, which is the most common phrase you will hear me say on this radio show. There's only one opening on the board at 1-888-GO-CANE, 1-888-465-2631. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Sandy.
You sure? You stumbled on the name, Sandy. Go ahead, Sandy. That's okay. Oh, okay.
I know you don't stay up for Greg Gutfeld's show.
I can't.
Right? Right. But he had Brett Barr on last night.
Brett Barr? Who's Brett Barr? Bear.
Yeah. He had him on last night, and I think you'd get a funny laugh out of it because Kat Simpson really made like fun of him.
Okay, I'll take a look. What do you make fun of? His cosmetic surgery on his eyes or his weight?
Well, just the way he talks, you know.
Okay. I like Kat with her smart glasses. She's very funny. She needs to eat. I got a question for you though. Okay, you called in Sandy, and you say you don't want to use your real first name. Are you like very famous? Are you a famous person? Okay. Okay. Who would know you by your first name? We don't ask for last names here. I thought you might be like a celebrity that somebody, if you said your first name, they'd be, Cher! Oh my goodness. You know, I don't know.
No.
Okay. All right. Take care. I just want to make a comment here, and I hope the Bidens are listening to this, and I'm serious. This is very important, and I'm not doing this to make fun or anything, but I think it's important for people like the Bidens who have addicts in their family. Anne Heche is brain dead, and they're going to remove her from life support today. And Anne Heche, let me tell you, she is one of the great American actors. I know a lot of people don't think that, but if you ever see her in her personal life, she's a crazy lady, and when she acts, she's phenomenal. They found cocaine in her system. And what happened with Anne Heche had not really worked steady for many years, and she just recently got her career back. She's on a television show, and she's getting some other work for the first time in years. So what did she do as an addict? She went out and started buying drugs. She got coked up and killed herself. She's brain dead. They may have already removed her from life support while we've been on the air, but they are going to do it today. And I was talking, so the worst thing you can give a drug addict is money. And that's why Anne Heche is dead, because she got money from her new show she's on. I just saw her on an interview. I don't know anything about the show, and I was like, oh wow, she's got her career back, good for her. But now she can fund her drug habit. Carrie Fisher was killed the same way. Carrie Fisher, Princess Leia, lifelong drug addict. In fact, if you watch, I think it's The Empire Strikes Back, you can see her long pinky nail that she used for the cocaine is in the movie. She had not worked for many, many years and had a lot of financial trouble. She got in those new Star Wars movies a few years ago, got money again, and OD'd because she got money. She was doing drugs. And the reason I say I hope the Bidens are listening, this Anne Heche story is why the Bidens are terrible people. They've got a son who's addicted to everything. He's addicted to every illegal substance there is. And what do? They use him as a money mule, giving him access to millions of dollars. And that can have terrible consequences, like it did with Anne Heche. So if you've got an addict in your family, you know it's a terrible thing. I do not make fun of addicts. I can't even give up the damn coffee, all right? I can only imagine what it's like to be addicted to crack and other things. I don't want to know, but if I can't give up coffee, that stuff's got to be tough. And the Bidens continue to give millions of dollars to Biden to be, their money launderer. And that's They don't care about their son, or they wouldn't do something like that, you know? All right, let's go to the phones. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Okay, once, twice. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Hey, Scott.
How you doing, man? Listen, my concern is that they put a moat to release the search warrant to the public, and I think people are under the illusion that you're going to find out what their reasoning was for that. The motion that they filed does not include the affidavit. The search warrant has 3 parts to it, and the affidavit is where you find out why they went into that house, and that's not going to be released. I think
that's all right. That's all right. They're still going to they're going to be put on the spot about it. That's for sure.
I think the only thing you're going to find out is what the charges are, and maybe you'll get a return off the inventory and find out what they took out of his house. But you're not going to know. You know, you're not going to know who the confidential informant was. That's for sure.
No. We're going to start to put together pieces of a puzzle, and we need to get the little drips here and there out, so we can start to put together the pieces to the puzzle.
But the point I'm trying to make with this is, unless there was some kind of exigent circumstance that would have deemed a national emergency.
Well, okay, slow down. I'm sorry. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Pompano. Okay, Pompano. Okay. Hold on. Slow down. Okay, because you said some things. Let's talk. Okay. Unless they show something that could show a national emergency. This is what you don't understand. You got to think about things from their perspective. These people are out of their minds. All right? Donald Trump, well, let me explain to the audience. Everybody may not know what you know, okay? Donald Trump has now had over 190 primary victories. He's got more coming up next week, okay? He's getting tens of thousands showing up at the rallies. He's going to be president again in 2024. To them, that is a national emergency. They think that's a national emergency. They think they're saving us. Don't you get it? They're sick.
I don't think they think they're saving us. I think they think they're saving themselves. These people have a...
Well, that's one and the same. But that's the same to them. They're saving the country.
Interest in protecting their own interests. And I believe that they think if this guy gets back in office, he's going to expose all of them.
Correct. But they've exposed themselves. And I'll tell you, they've done tremendous damage. You even got Andrew Yang saying this is over. Every charge against President Trump that's failed, now the people that even don't like the guy, CNN, MSNBC, are saying, wow, this was too far. He's been cleared of everything in the public mind of even a lot of Democrats like Andrew Yang in this country. They've done tremendous damage to themselves, the Republican establishment, and they're too consumed with hatred of Donald Trump to see it.
And I just want to say one other thing. To go to the extent that they went to do this, and really and it has eroded confidence in the FBI and the justice system to do something like that.
Yeah. All right, listen, we got a break. Thanks for the call. You brought up some good points. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian. Steve is here. Back after this.
FBI and the justice system to do something like this.
Yeah. All right, listen, we got a break. Thanks for the call. You brought up some good points. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian. Steve is here. Back after this.
They're the most polarizing talk show hosts in all of South Florida. The Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Mornings 6 to 9 on Oldies 95.3 and 96.9.
All right. We are back, and it's time to check in with Attorney Barry Siegel from the Siegel Law Group. Attorney Barry Siegel, good morning.
Good morning, Steve. Good morning, Brian. How are you guys doing?
Good morning.
Everything good with you guys?
We're doing great, Counselor. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. This morning I was going to talk about protecting our assets in our retirement years from the high cost of long-term care. People, unfortunately, may need care either at home, getting a home health aide to come in, a few hours a week, 40 hours a week, which is what Medicaid can pay up to that amount. Some people even need 24-hour care. or some people may need to go to a facility, assisted living or nursing home. The one common denominator is all of that care is very, very expensive. And if you don't have long-term care insurance to pay for it, most people don't have long-term care, or they don't have enough long-term care to pay for it, then really what you're looking at is either spending down your money or qualifying for government benefits like Medicaid. And so here's the tip for today. I have people who come in who would otherwise be able to help them qualify for Medicaid, where we're able to get their assets and their income to the Medicaid levels, but they have gifting issues where they've been giving money away to children, grandchildren, and that can cause disqualification. And one of the things that we see often is that they take advice from the wrong people, from their friends, their family, their neighbors, even other professionals who don't know their way around Medicaid. Those other professionals could be attorneys who don't do this, and that advice can be very dangerous. If you are contemplating the possibility of Medicaid, don't start moving things around and giving money away until you talk to someone who knows what they're talking about when it comes to Medicaid.
Yeah, and Attorney Barry Siegel has an entire team at the Siegel Law Group that are dedicated just to Medicaid planning. Okay, and I've talked to listeners who feel that their entire life has been saved by this because, you know, these families get wrecked financially, and with home care cost, nursing home care cost, and oftentimes the surviving spouse is left broke and homeless. It doesn't have to be that way. Call the Siegel Law Group. It is always a free consultation with the Siegel Law Group. When you mention you heard Attorney Barry Siegel on the radio, and the Siegel Law Group, their main office is located right here in Boca, but have offices throughout Broward, Dade, and Palm Beach County. And no matter where you're located in Florida, the Siegel Law Group can help you. Online at siegellawgroup.com or give them a call, 855-FLA-3782. Just want people to know our breaks are hard breaks. You know, we're on 6 radio stations. We're networking with other radio stations, and when it's time for a break, it's time for a break, okay? So sometimes you might think I'm being a little short with you. If we're up against a break, it's because we're going to get cut off, okay? Just so you know. Okay, let's go. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. It's Berta from Texas.
Hey, Berta.
Well, I'm just as pissed off as everybody else. I've been on fire since the beginning of the week with what's going on with Trump. But I heard something yesterday that was very interesting, and it kind of cut me short a little bit. I heard Glenn Beck say that the Democrats are trying to provoke us, a January 6th kind of a response, you know, what they did and everything. I just want to make sure that MAGA, we keep our cool and everything, and just keep trusting in ourselves, and just make sure we always stay that line. Always, you know, don't cross that line or don't do anything that we're not supposed to. Because this is only the beginning, Brian.
No, you shouldn't be. You know, I'll tell you this. I'm not angry at all about this break-in. I think it's glorious and beautiful and everything. I haven't been angry from the get-go. And I want to tell you, one of our callers called in yesterday early on in the show from the United Kingdom, UK Neil. He's a UK MAGA guy. He's a good guy. And he made he asked a very, very key question. He asked, how did people find out about the raid on Mar-A-Lago? How did that make... Now again, we're here in South Florida, so I heard from people, because people here say there's a bunch of sirens in front of Mar-A-Lago, but that's just local getting phone calls and text messages from people. How did the nation, how did America and the world find out about the FBI raid on Mar-A-Lago?
Well, the way I found out, it popped up in my YouTube.
Okay, hold on. But no, how did it, not how you personally, how did the world as a whole find out about the raid on Mar-A-Lago? Okay, let me tell people who don't get it. We got liberals in the audience. We found out from President Trump. He released a statement on Truth Social. We didn't find out from the news. We didn't find out from the Justice Department or the FBI. They didn't tell anyone. We found, when they break in to El Chapo's house or the Rosenberg's house, they have new press conferences, news conferences. They bring the news with them like they did the Roger Stone's house. President Trump is the only reason we know about this and know exactly what happened.
It's just, what gets me upset is it's a constant persecution. Now you, a history major, this ever happened to a president of the United States?
Breaking into their house? No. The government has never broken into the home of a president. In fact, President Trump yesterday said that Barack Obama took 33 million classified documents that he was going to digitize to put in his archives at his library. It never happened. They didn't break into his house.
People see what the FBI are. The American people, you look, that time when you said on the show how many converted and how many ones were there, I was astonished.
Yeah.
A lot of people have converted. A lot of the African American, the black people here in Texas are pro-Trump.
Well, here's what's happened this week, and this is just glorious and beautiful, this break-in. They helped us out a lot. First off, they didn't think it was going to be so high profile because they didn't publicize it. President Trump did. So Garland yesterday, Brett Baier and his Trump-hating friend Martha McCallum, they're like, oh, the ball's in Trump's court now. No, it's not. Trump has set the whole narrative. They're responding to him, Garland and the Justice Department. Garland's on the defense. He came out like a girl yesterday on the defense. Every allegation made against Trump that liberals believe, Skanky Daniels, Russia hoax, dossier, that gross woman on the airplane, all those stories. Now, the people that hate Trump, that believe those stories, now don't. They're like, wow, I didn't really, they really are after this guy. That's right.
I think it's they're going to keep going. They're desperate, Brian. These liberals are desperate, and you know what?
Correct.
They don't believe in God, and they have no morals in their heart. They're capable of anything. So that's why I say, MAGA, keep our cool, just keep supporting, and pro-Trumpers, just keep.
That's correct. All right, take care. And I'm gonna give some other advice. Okay, very specific advice on top of Berta. I'm like many of you here in South Florida. I will be taking the pilgrimage again tomorrow to Mar-A-Lago. I did not talk about this earlier this week, but there were fake MAGA. Okay, at Mar-A-Lago the other day. And there will be more fake MAGA today. They look like you and me. They got MAGA hats on and everything, and they're the agitators. Stay away from those guys, okay? Stay away from those guys. Be very careful. Now, there's people are talking about showing up at Mar-A-Lago Saturday tomorrow at 11 a.m. I will be there all morning at Mar-A-Lago tomorrow. And if you see me there, come by and say hi. I'll be the guy in the MAGA hat. One of the guys. But just keep your eye out for these agitators, okay, that show up. In particular, the Democrats. When I went there, Steve, the other day, if you guys who are watching me on my YouTube live stream at Mar-A-Lago, those Democrats, they try to instigate you. They got up in my face very close. I mean, too close, even before COVID. They're always trying to push your buttons. And another thing I would do, too, a lot of our listeners were doing interviews with everyone. I would not do interviews unless it is a trusted news organization. Sky News Australia, one of the conservatives like Daily Wire. Don't be talking to CNN or NBC, even the local affiliates. And I was talking to one of our listeners. She's like, I'm talking to all of them. I don't care if they're liberal. They only look to get one word or two words from you that they can put in their context. You can't trust any of these left-wing news outlets. Even if you say the right things and good things, you can be made to look like something you're not, okay? Just be careful. All right, let's go. We got a full board of calls. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good morning. Once, twice. All right. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
The neighbors are very quiet. They're not saying one word about what's going on. And my sighted friends have told me that Garliff yesterday looked like he had looked like a deer in the headlights.
Yeah.
Scared to me. But I'd like to lighten the mood up a little bit with a joke one of my trucker friends told me yesterday. I heard it on the trucking show. These three doctors are sitting around and they're bragging about how great they are. And the first doctor says, you know what? I had a man come into the emergency room with a missing leg, and I put his leg back together, and he kicked a field goal in the Super Bowl. The second doctor says, oh, that's nothing. I had a guy come in the emergency room with a missing arm, and I was able to put his arm back on, and he pitched a no-hitter for the World Series. And the third doctor says, oh, that's nothing. I got you all beat. I had a man come into the emergency room with his brain falling out of his head. I put his brain back in his head, and he's now president of the United States.
Oh, yeah, that's interesting. You mentioned one of your sighted friends, so you're visually impaired?
Yeah, I'm legally blind.
Oh, maybe that joke is funnier in Braille. I don't know.
Yeah, my hand.
Ba-dum-dum. Yeah, okay. I appreciate the call. No, I couldn't help myself with that one. In radio, we have a lot of visually impaired listeners, and we love them because radio is an audio, medium. So we always have had visually impaired people, and we also have mentally impaired people, obviously, by some of the calls you hear as well. All right, 1-888-HQ, Kane 1. Let's go. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Brian, Vincent Wellington. How's it going?
Vincent Wellington, due west of Mar-A-Lago.
Yeah, I agree. We got to keep our cool. I don't really know too much about what happened yesterday.
Yeah, that was a funny joke. My Braille, that was a good one.
FBI field training.
I just made that up.
False flag, possibly, because how did they get so much information on this guy so quick? And
well, here's the thing: if Merrick Garland and the FBI wanted the public to know they broke into Mar-A-Lago, they would have done what they did with Roger Stone, brought CNN with them. They did it in secret, and what I was trying to tell Berta, they think Trump's a criminal. He's covering up his crimes. Criminals don't put out statements when they get raided by the FBI. They hope no one notices, right? They didn't think this was going to be public.
A lot, Brian, is that the people that are staunch liberals out here, they live in Florida too, Broward County especially. But the way I look at it is that they're excited that this is happening.
Well, they're a minority. This is, if you haven't noticed, Ron DeSantis is our governor. So those liberals, their voice is not heard in Florida. Sorry, Democrats. This is Ron DeSantis' Florida. Yeah.
How it is on the west side of the.
Yeah, that's true. Hey, listen, Vince, we got to run for our break for the top of the hour, right? Don't go anywhere. It's the Steve Kane Show. Steve's here. I'm Brian Craig. One opening on the board where Vince was. We'll be back after this. Listen, Vince, we got to run for our break for the top of the hour, right? Don't go anywhere. It's the Steve Kane Show. Steve's here. I'm Brian Craig. One opening on the board where Vince was. We'll be back after this. Be right back, guys.
Oldies 95.3 and 96.9 is here. WWNN Pompano Beach, a VCMG live radio station. Now, here's the True Oldies weather forecast.
From the WPBF 25 First Warning Weather Center, this is meteorologist Brooke Silvering. We're looking at temperatures this afternoon reaching a high in the low 90s, but this time we have some scattered rain and storms possible developing later afternoon hours. A couple storms inland by the evening. Heading into this weekend, pack the umbrella. Scattered rain and storms are back in the forecast.
Follow Oldies 95.3 and 96.9 on social media. See what's happening in the community, have a laugh with some funny memes, and keep in touch with other good time oldies lovers. Facebook and Instagram at Oldies South Florida. True Oldies. Traffic check.
Oh man, if you're new here, make sure you subscribe. Everyone, please like the video too. We got 1 hour to go.
Take Dixie Highway, Congress Avenue, Military Trail, jog over the turnpike instead from Lakewood for the best alternate at this time. I-95 southbound approaching 10th Avenue North, a left shoulder is still blocked by an earlier crash. Stop and go traffic is still going back to Boulevard. A disabled vehicle is still blocking the off-ramp right lane from Turnpike northbound end to the Beeline Highway. A crash on the Beeline Highway at Town Road. Another crash lingers on Australian Avenue at Perimeter Road. This report is sponsored by Blindster. We do Blindster Shades. Blindster.com offers custom blind shades and shutter shipped directly to their prices less than big box retailers. Blindster blinds are easy to install and guaranteed to fit. And right now, save 45% off any order. Just use the code radio at checkout. Blindster.com. That's Draft from Chris Barr.
Here is your True Oldies ABC News Update.
Now, I'm Todd. The FBI searched former President Trump's home this week because agents believe he had documents related to national security.
Multiple sources familiar with the court-authorized search told ABC News the Justice Department and the FBI came to believe former President Trump retained sensitive, classified documents with national security implications. Recent weeks were told the FBI obtained additional information suggesting Trump was not complying with requests to turn over the material. It is so sensitive, authorities wanted to immediately retrieve it. Some of the information, the sources said, included material labeled special access, available to a limited number of people with the highest level security clearance. Aaron Kutcherski, ABC News, New York.
The Justice Department has asked the court to unseal the federal warrant. Late Thursday, Trump said he will not oppose the release of that one. A statement from the family of actor Anne Hayes, who was involved in a fiery crash, says she will not survive her injuries and she's being kept on life support to see if her organs are viable for donation. This is ABC News.
The roar of our engines, the pump of our heartbeats, the pedal to our metal, the sparks that ignite us, the pistons.
Oh man, I'm reading this story. Have you guys seen the story on Liz Cheney's net worth? This is unbelievable.
With nearly 6,000 stores and over 17,000 auto care centers, Napa has America's largest network of parts and care, here to keep you firing all cylinders.
Get it off your chest. Just call in 888-GO-CANE-1. Hello. You'll thank us later. The Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, we are back. I'm Brian. Steve Kane is here. I was just during the break, Steve, reading a story about Liz Cheney. Oh boy, you're going to like this one. And so will you in the listening audience. Callers on hold, stand by. Oh man, you ready, Steve? Listen to this. Okay, now Liz Cheney, she wraps herself around the Constitution, right? You know, and I don't know if you guys have noticed this about Liz Cheney. Her voice, her looks, and her mannerisms are identical to her father. It's like she's Dick Cheney in drag. I mean, she really is like a transgender Dick Cheney. Listen to this. Republican Congresswoman Liz Cheney, listen to this, according to her financial documents and as reported in Breitbart, her net worth has increased by 600% while serving in Congress. That's right. She's been in Congress since 2017. Her net worth when she first went into Congress was $7 million. Her current net worth is $44 million, a 600% increase. Listen to this. Listen to this. Between 2017 and 18, Liz Cheney's net worth doubled from $7 to $14 million. By 2020, it increased to $44 million. Citing revenue streams from her family trust, a University of Wyoming trustee job, and money from a holding company. Okay? One of her assets is her husband's law firm, Latham and Watkins, which has ties to the Chinese Communist Party. You know, her net worth has increased 600%, mainly because of the Chinese Communist Party work her husband's doing. But she just cares about the Constitution, don't you know? You know, the part that made the mint, you know, I don't know if that's in the Constitution, but, you know, anyway. But this is a big deal, and, you know, President Trump has done a lot of things that turn the establishment against him, but I've always said that the biggest thing he did was screw up their China deals, You know, when he equalized the import and export taxes, remember, like, these other countries would have like an 80% tax on our imports and we would have like no tax on theirs, you know, basically. When he equalized that, that's what turned China and the rest against him. And what this tells me is that Liz Cheney, like Joe Biden, works for China. I mean, that's just we're a client state of China. That's it. I mean, you know, Hitler, if he just would have become a political donor, he would have taken over the whole world like China has. All right, let's go. 1-888-GO-CANE-1. Now, yeah, it's sad. I mean, it's sad, but she's on the take to China, the CCP. It's terrible. Oh, boy, I know. Now, it is Friday, which means it's open phones. Anything and everything you have on your mind is fair game on Fridays. Mm-hmm. None. Oh, it's not a Trump rally. No. Just MAGA people are planning a pilgrimage to Mar-A-Lago Saturday in support of President Trump. It's not a Trump rally. Now, maybe he'll surprise us and come out in the backyard. I'd be very happy. But it's not a Trump rally. No. At 11 a.m. It's not tomorrow at 11 a.m. So I'll be there all morning. Our number is toll-free 1-888-GO-CANE-1. We'll go back to our very busy phones. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Brian, am I on the radio? Hello?
Yeah, you're on the radio.
Okay. Hi, I'm the first-time caller. Hi, Steve. Just want to let you know.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm good. My name is Faith. I'm from Mississippi. But,
hey, Faith.
Hey, Steve. I used to be married to a missile jockey. He worked on manned missiles, and they constantly changed the codes. Because when he had a top secret clearance, and all I would know is he would come in to get his clothes, and he'd say, "I'll be back. I'm going out." And that's when he would go out to change the codes. So for them to say Trump was a problem with the codes, he didn't have the correct codes because they're constantly changing.
They change them every hour of every day, if not every second of every day, with the computer technology.
They would change them. They would manually go out and change them.
Mm-hmm.
They change them with a computer.
Listen, Garland, as I said earlier, Garland has nothing except a very effeminate way of carrying himself. If they had anything that they found on Trump, he would have held the documents up redacted and said this.
The nuclear codes or anything, all hell's going to break loose. Because, I mean, that doesn't pass the smile test, as Brian was saying earlier.
You are right on that. But yes, Trump does not, and he is the greatest president this country has ever had and ever known and ever will know.
And let me tell you something. He is the greatest president ever, all the way back to Washington, and I'll tell you what I mean by that. I mean, Washington obviously gave birth to our country, and that's good and all. However, he was the richest man in the colonies. Do you think it's just a coincidence that he was the first president and picked out the area for our capital down the street from his house, in Virginia? Lincoln worked for the railroads. He was a railroad attorney. Okay, before he was president. That was the big tech of the day, and look what happened. The Intercontinental Railroad. They were all corrupt except Trump. They all had donors, different donors. Washington had Big Cotton and the slave people. Lincoln had the railroads. Trump just has us. Okay, so he is the only president we have ever had, going back to General Washington, who was truly representative of the people and not the big political powerful of the day.
You're correct. You're correct. Spot on. And, and when Liberal Al in Louisiana calling him, it just astounds me that, people will think they're so intelligent, just the level of ignorance and just bias that they have. And even though we're...
Liberal Al, somebody, Liberal Al, and somebody that thinks he's intelligent?
Who's that?
No one thinks he's intelligent, except... No.
he proclaims himself as intelligent. And
Oh, yes.
Yes, yeah, well, he's delusional, among other things.
Yes, he is.
stop and look in the mirror and just watch themselves talk, they would literally shut up.
No. These guys, they call in all, Al's been calling this show since before I was a part of it. Okay, so believe me, he's heard himself on the air and thinks he's brilliant. He's just delusional. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Johnny.
Okay, Johnny. Okay, where are you calling from, Johnny? Okay. Oh, here we go, Steve.
You guys ever listen to the music after you...
I do sometimes, mostly in the afternoon driving around. What? We think he is...
You guys still think he's the king, right?
What are you talking about? You can't say the man's name. What is he, the president whose name cannot be mentioned? What's going on here? Trump? You mean President Trump? Say his name.
If you want to call him a president.
He can't even say his name. He can't even say the man's name. What? No, that was the day before yesterday. No, not whatever. It was the day before yesterday. Yeah. Oh, really? What's your beef with Donald Trump? You strong men? What is your problem with him?
Actually, I kind of grew up near him, where he's from. He had a really hard time at the Air Military Academy. Do you guys know he went there, right? I guess.
He had a hard time in school. So what? So did I. Oh, we're dummies. Trump's a dummy. He took a $1 million... Excuse me. Let's walk. No. You listen to me for a second here. No. I'm going to finish because we're coming up on a break. I'm sorry. 1-888-GO-CANE-1. I'm sorry. If he wants to call, put him on hold. If he's there when we get back, we can replay his delusions. He's on hold. I put him on hold. We got a break. We're up against a break. Our number is 888-GO-CANE-1. 888-465-2631. I don't know if he's got much to hang over for, but we'll see if he's there when... Oh, no, he hung up. I'm sorry. I can't help it. It's time for... Listen, it's the Steve Kane Show. Open phones on Fridays. Callers on hold, stand by. There's one opening on the board at 1-888-GO-CANE-1. I'm Brian Craig. Steve Kane's here. Back after this. There's one opening on the board at 1-888-GO-CANE-1. I'm Brian Craig. Steve Kane's here. Back after this.
The Steve Kane Show. Telling it like it is.
Steve Kane Show.
You like it or not.
Hold on. Steve Kane Show. Hold on.
A sniffle here and a sneeze there. Your first thought is what? Uh-oh, I'm coming down with something. But did you ever think you might not be sick? You might have an allergy. Find out and have your allergies tested at any lab test now of Coral Springs or any lab test now of Boca. Any lab test now of Coral Springs is located at 955 North University Drive on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood by the Coral Square Mall. Give them a call, 954-906-5983. 954-906-5983. Any lab test now of Boca is in the Sandalfoot Plaza. That's where the Western Beef is, south of Palmetto and north of Hillsboro. Call them at 561-237-5009. 561-237-5009. They will test for both environmental and food allergies. No appointment is necessary. And make sure you mention you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show.
This radio commercial was made to convince you to stop speeding. We can't use siren sound effects on the radio, so we'll use other equally jarring sound effects to get your attention. Like telling you that whether you drive a little over the speed limit or a lot, you can crash just the same. You could hurt yourself or worse, others. And the damage you cause will be beyond repair. See?
Steve Kane Show.
Crash or siren sounds after all. Speeding catches up with you. Brought to you by NHTSA.
Do you suffer from neuropathy? Maybe you do and you don't even know it. Do you have numbness, pain, burning, or tingling in your hands and feet? Muscle weakness? Loss of balance? Muscle twitching? Are you not sleeping? Does it feel like pins and needles in your hands and feet? Maybe you have no feeling at all. The symptoms can make life unbearable, but there is help at the Lighthouse Medical Center. Call 754-222-6642 for a no-charge consultation and say goodbye to your neuropathy symptoms. 754-222-6642.
You know you're in trouble when your back is going out more than you. Hi, this is Tonka. This week on Body Talk, it's all about resolving your back pain.
Body Talk with Tonka. Saturday mornings on Oldies 95.3 and 96.9. Join the movement. You may be into punk rock, soft rock, or classic rock, R&B, hip-hop, or house, country, techno, or techno-country. But no matter what kind of music you listen to, here's something else you should hear. Please consider getting vaccinated. Talk to your pharmacist today about Comirnaty, COVID-19 vaccine mRNA. This message brought to you by BioNTech and Pfizer.
Please listen to Moment of Scripture, hosted by Jan Coleman, every Sunday morning from 6 to 6:30 a.m. We'll read the Bible, pray, and offer blessings to all who listen in the name of our Lord and Savior. Moments of Scripture, every Sunday at 6 a.m.
Grab your coffee and get ready to be triggered. The Steve Kane Show with...
All right, we are back. It's the Steve Kane Show. Callers on hold, stand by. I'm Brian. It is open phones on Fridays, all right? Open MAGA Mike Friday, and you don't have to agree with us to call in. You know, the last guy, he couldn't say President Trump's name. It's like he would burn if he said the name. I want to ask anyone out there, do you suffer from neuropathy? You know, Steve did, and we have help for you if you suffer from neuropathy, and that is Lighthouse Medical Center in Pompano. You know, Lighthouse Medical Center has been in practice with the same family of physicians for 75 years in Pompano. Is that amazing? They very well may be the oldest medical practice with the same family all those years, by the way, in South Florida. That's a long time by South Florida numbers, isn't it? And Steve, you had neuropathy. You had everything: the pain, the numbness, the burning, the tingling, dizziness, muscle weakness, loss of... We had a personal appearance a few months ago that the liberal... Well, remember, the police removed us. We were removed by the police with people with guns. We were removed by police and armed security guards with pistols. I'm not kidding. It's on my YouTube channel. You can watch the video. But that was our first appearance we did in a while, and it was because of Steve's neuropathy. And if you had not gone to Lighthouse Medical Center, we would not have done that appearance. You wouldn't have been able to go, and they rid you of your neuropathy symptoms, and it's absolutely amazing. Yeah, it's a miracle.
Around people, you talk to a lot of people who don't know the facts, and they tell you that there's nothing you can do about neuropathy, and you just got to silently endure it and, you know, get through it. That's not the case. I mean, the symptoms can disappear real quick with...
Oh, yeah. Lighthouse... Yeah, and I know it works. By the way, we're looking for a sponsor that can treat liberalism and cure people of liberalism. If you have a medical practice that cures people of liberalism, we want to do spots for you. But Lighthouse Medical Center, I know it works because not only have I seen the difference in you, Steve, and rid you of your neuropathy symptoms, I've met listeners too, and boom, it's really a miracle. Now, it's always a no-charge consultation if you mention you heard about them on the radio. Here's the number: 754-222-6642. 754-222-6642, and online lighthousemedicalcenter.com. All right, we'll go to the phones. The liberal guy did not hang. He did not hang in there. But when it's time for a break, I gotta let the caller go, and unless I put you on hold, and he did not hang in there. But so far as President Trump not being brilliant, let me tell you something. In my lifetime, I've known a lot of millionaires. I'm not one of them, but I've known a lot of millionaires. I've never personally known a billionaire with a B. You know, the amount of money that a billionaire has versus a millionaire is like a welfare recipient and a millionaire. I mean, it's dramatic. And President Trump is a self-made billionaire with a B. Remember, he took a small personal loan of $1 million from his father, which he paid back How many of you have paid back your parents or been paid back by your children? He took that $1 million and turned it into a $10 billion empire and brand and the presidency, and it's absolutely amazing. So to say someone that took $1 million and turned it into $10 billion is not brilliant is just to be a liar. All right, let's go. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
It's Chris from Boynton.
Hey, Chris, what's up?
Hey, guys, how you doing today? So, I always get to listen to your whole show.
Shame on you.
I'm not upset, bro. Weeks ago, you were talking about speaking to little Marco Rubio.
Yes.
I never heard the end of where that went. Like, were you able to get in touch with him?
I'm not gonna reveal at this moment in time, because something is in play. I'm not trying to be evasive like a Democrat, but there are things in play, and I'll tell you that there. Well, I can't say on the air, but there's been a happening, and a lot of you are aware of it. You just don't know of our connection to it, and there's other things in play.
We need to see him out here. He's nowhere. Every day we're watching Val Demings. He's crazy. Azahers and Marco Rubio. No.
Well, listen, I'm not going to talk about the contact with Marco Rubio's office right now because things are in play. But Val Demings, who was the Democrat running for that Senate seat, let me tell you, she's a Democrat, but you wouldn't know it. Everything she does, she makes herself sound and look like a Republican, and she wants people to think she's like Black MAGA. And let me tell you, not only is she polished, she has the top people working on her campaign, and her campaign commercials are good. You would think she was Black MAGA watching her TV commercials. She's a complete fraud, and she's very good and polished on camera.
I have one more. Have you seen the ridiculous Dick Cheney ad for his daughter being played here in Florida?
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
Let me tell you, no, it's brilliant. It's beautiful. Let me tell you something, okay? She's doing the work of these snakes, right? Romney, Bush, and all of that. The only one that would come out of that rat's hole and openly say vote for Liz Cheney was her father, who was obligated to. All these people she's destroyed her political career for, not one of them would come out publicly and support her. Where's President Bush? Vote for my daughter. I love her. I mean, if my daughter were running for Congress, I would do a TV commercial too, but it wouldn't. Everybody said, well, of course, it's his daughter.
Terrible week for Democrats this week, huh?
Oh, yeah. It's beautiful.
So far as to say the events of this week are a turning point. That's how I see it.
Absolutely.
You were? I don't know if you were on hold. Did you hear the liberal guy before the break who couldn't say President Trump's name?
They're all like that. They have such hatred for themselves that they can't even acknowledge when someone does something great for the country.
Well, you know what it is. A lot of guys are intimidated by strong alpha males. I'm not. I don't consider myself I'm not like Trump, but I look up to him. A lot of guys are insecure because they're wimps, and Trump, either reminds them of an abusive father, or they just have a problem with strong men. I don't know.
Can't wait till he gets in and turns this country back around and just uplifts everyone.
Listen, he's not even in the White House right now, and he's driving everything. He ended abortion a few weeks ago. Look at the news now, and don't let them tell you, oh, if you're talking about the break-in, you're not talking about Biden. It's so bad. The Democrats and the media are trying to get us to talk about Biden, not Trump now. This is Trump just won 2024 with this.
Oh, I think he won it long before that. As soon as this guy stepped in office and crashed everything that Trump had done, I think that was the killer. This is all inevitable. Everything that's happening now is just inevitable with all of his policies.
Mm-hmm. Hey,
left-wing policy.
Yeah, and well, you know what? There is no policy. His only policy is pay me, my family are bums, this is my last rodeo, I'm here to make money for my family, I'm here to take bribes. That's what's going on. I mean, look at Pelosi taking her son to China, and then he gets a deal over there, and oh no, he was just my escort. Yeah.
I think that the media uncovers all of these top officials for the Democrats. They're going to find even more corruptness within family getting money from China.
Well, look at this thing we found out this morning about Liz Cheney. Her wealth has increased 600%. Main source of income is her husband's firm who does work for China, the Chinese Communist Party. Hey, listen, thanks for the call. We're up against a break, all right? It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. Indeed it is, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 45 years on the radio this year. It's open phones. Call us on hold, stand by. Steve Kane is here. My name is Brian Craig. Our number, 888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. Back after this break. Steve Kane is here. My name is Brian Craig. Our number, 888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. Back after this break.
Tired of boring mornings? We serve controversy with your morning coffee. The Steve Kane Show. Oldies 95.3 and 96.9. The greatest rock and roll hits of the 60s and 70s coming up this morning at 10 a.m. Now, here's the True Oldies weather forecast.
From the WPBF 25 First Warning Weather Center, this is meteorologist Brooke Silvering. We're looking at temperatures this afternoon reaching a high in the low 90s, but this time we have some scattered rain and storms possible developing later afternoon hours. A couple storms inland by the evening. Heading into this weekend, pack the umbrella. Scattered rain and storms are back in the forecast.
Follow Oldies 95.
Blinds are easy to install and guaranteed to fit. And right now, save 45% off any order. Just use the code radio at checkout, blinds.com. That's traffic. I'm Chris Barr.
Florida Luxury Cabinets is your local.
Pam, $5 super sticker. Thank you. How's it going? It's going great. Everyone thank Pam, please. No, Truth Social's free. Don't believe those lies.
Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate. I'm a speed bump. Did you hear what I said? I'm a speed bump. And if you have cut-rate car insurance, the cost to reattach your muffler could really be a bump in the road. So switch to Allstate, save money, and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
Based on coverage and limits selected, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. In most states, prices vary based on where you buy. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
It's hurricane season, and if you have a wet spot on your ceiling, you have a leak in your roof. When we had a leak in our roof at the Kane household, we called Tom Laporta. He's the best in the business. Remember, small leaks turn into medium leaks, and medium leaks turn into big problems. Call licensed contractor Tom Laporta for a free roof inspection. 954-604-4602. And tell him Steve Kane sent you.
Why choose proven quality sleep from Sleep Number? Because our Sleep Number 360 Smart
automatically adjust to help keep you both comfortable. Plus, it's temperature balancing so you stay cool. It's even smart enough to know exactly how long, how well, and when you slept. Our smart sleepers get 28 minutes more restful sleep per night. Sleep Number takes care of the science. All you have to do is sleep. It's the biggest sale of the year where all smart beds are on sale. Save 50% on the Sleep Number 360 limited edition smart bed, only for a limited time. To learn more, go to sleepnumber.com.
Have you put off buying new tires because you thought they were too expensive? Find friendly prices at Friendly Tire and Margate on both new and used tires. New tires as low as $70 a tire. That's out the door and on the road because Friendly Tire doesn't charge you to balance the tire or mount the tire. They have thousands of used tires in stock too, starting at just $30. Call for a quote right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445.
This radio commercial was made to convince you to stop speeding. We can't use siren sound effects on the radio, so we'll use other equally jarring sound effects to get your attention. Like telling you that whether you drive a little over the speed limit or a lot, you crash just the same. You could hurt yourself, or worse, others.
I'm at the scene of the collision.
And the damage you cause will be beyond repair. See, we didn't have to use crash or siren sounds after all. Speeding catches up with you. Brought to you by NHTSA.
Thinking of buying a new mattress? Don't! Go right now to MyPillow.com and order your 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper for 50% off. But you've got to use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout at MyPillow.com. This is the lowest price ever. It comes in all mattress sizes, from twin all the way up to California King, and every size in between. Go to MyPillow.com and use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout.
You may be into punk rock, soft rock, or classic rock, R&B, hip-hop, or house, country, techno, or techno-country. But no matter what kind of music you listen to, here's something else you should hear. Please consider getting vaccinated. Talk to your pharmacist today about Comirnaty, COVID-19 vaccine mRNA. This message brought to you by BioNTech and Pfizer.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian.
All right, we are back. I'm Brian. Steve Kane is here. It is Open Phones on Friday, Open MAGA Mic Friday. Callers on hold, stand by. We have just received word from President Trump on the nuclear weapons documents at the White House, okay? President Trump just posted to Truth Social this, and I'm going to read word for word what President Trump posted to Truth Social. Nuclear weapons issue is a hoax, just like Russia was a hoax. 2 impeachments were a hoax. The Mueller investigation was a hoax, and much more. Same sleazy people involved. Why wouldn't the FBI allow the inspection of areas at Mar-A-Lago with our lawyers or others present? Made them wait outside in the heat, wouldn't let them even get close, said absolutely not. Planting information, anyone? Reminds me of a Christopher Steele dossier. That's President Trump. Just spoke to us there. And see? What did Brett Baer and Martha McCallum? Yeah, Brett Baer and Martha McCallum, they said the ball's in Trump's court now. Well, he just tossed it back to Garland. You know, Garland's so bitter that he didn't get on the Supreme Court and have that lifetime job of retirement. You can tell. He's so pissed about that. Oh, my goodness. Yeah. All right, let's go. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian. It's Jeff from Maine.
Hey, Jeff.
Hey,
Jeff, what's up?
Hey, Steve, I love what you said about this is the turning point, and I believe that's actually at the point of no return for the Dems. And Brian said that the Dems just handed Trump the 20 House and the Senate. Start with a big swirl and starts going down. Then you realize you gotta hold the handle and get a full flush. That's what Trump's doing. He's holding that handle down and he's flushing everything. And I believe that nuclear document stuff was planted evidence because that's the only reason they wouldn't let Trump attorneys there present during that they're going to come up with one last deal. They are so desperate right now, they're going to try to plant evidence in Donald Trump's house. And that That's
Too late. Too late. Too late.
Well, they may have done it the other day. That's what President Trump is saying.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's so obvious that it's beyond the point of no return now.
Let me ask you, Jeff. Did you hear that liberal guy that called earlier? You know, he couldn't say President Trump's name. He couldn't say Trump. What's that about, you think? Why can't he say the man's name? It's like Voldemort in Harry Potter.
It to me is they're just evil. They're so blinded they don't want to hear the truth, and that's where we are with politics. The Democrats, you want to really piss off a liberal, you tell them the truth. If you want to piss off a conservative, you lie to them.
Yeah.
We're seeing before our eyes every day.
That sounds like a Reagan quote. Did Ronald Reagan say that? Sounds like something he would have said. All right, Jeff in Maine. Take care. Thanks for the call. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is JJ from Mass.
Hey, JJ.
Hey, JJ.
Good morning, gentlemen. On further reflection of this Trump raid fiasco by the Democrats, I once commented about how the J6 committee was the band on the Titanic. Well, I think the FBI and the DOJ and the rest of the Democrats they've just joined the band. I mean, the Democrats they're rearranging the deck furniture. You've got, in the Pelosi room, you've got AOC doing vodka shots. Down in the Feinstein room, you've got the limo driver serving up authentic Chinese cuisine. And Eric Swalwell's spa and gift shop, Fang Fang, the celebrity, is giving massages. They've miscalculated so bad on this. It's got to be the largest, the worst mistake in political history, in American history.
Yes, I think that's correct.
Listen to this caller, JJ. Listen to this article. This is in the Post-Millennial. By the way, the Post-Millennial is a conservative news website out of Canada, but they got all the American news in there. Listen to this. A new poll released yesterday found that a majority of voters, regardless of political party affiliation, say they are more likely to vote in the upcoming midterms than before the FBI raid on Mar-A-Lago. So, what they've done. And I've seen interviews on television of Democrats that say they're going to vote Republican now.
Deep down, I mean, listen, there's a lot of craziness. There's crazy people in America, no problem. We all know that. But there's a lot of good people. And one of the things you said way back on the show, and you probably said it before, Steve, I just remember you talking about, the discussion was about the fact when things get really bad, a lot of people, they hate politics because it's just so full of crap and corruption. They don't even bother voting because things are okay. But when crap hits the fan like this, everybody, the hairs on the back of the neck are up, and everybody is paying attention. It's just so.
Well, when I was talking, JJ, I was talking to a caller earlier in the show about this. What's happened is they've had all these scandals against President Trump, right? The Russia hoax, the dossier, Skanky Daniels. There's a long list, right? And we've known none of them were true. A lot of people believe those things, and this week he's been cleared of everything in the minds of a lot of Trump haters, and they're seeing that, wow, they're always against. They're right. These deplorables are right. They're making crap up. And if you've noticed on the program this week, we have not talked to a liberal who is not unhinged, just like the last guy. They've all sound like lunatic cartoon characters because their whole world is evaporating, because even their own Democrat voters are now like, wow.
Losing their cookies. They can see it. It's the end.
It's going to grow exponentially as they try to sell this nuclear football.
Oh my goodness, it's a snowball effect.
As soon as they announce that, a lot of people are going to wake up simultaneously.
Well, it's in the Washington Post, and no, we got time. I'm not letting you go. I know I'm talking over you, but go ahead.
I think the weight of everybody in the world rolling their eyes at the same time tilted the action. There's no way. I mean, it's so insane.
And it solved the climate change issue when it happened. This is the thing, though. This story came out last night through the Washington Post, which is the way that they brought down. They think the Washington Post is credible. But this is the thing, though. I read the article in the Washington Post, and I've heard some of the liberal commentary on it, all right, before I came on the air this morning. To them, this connects the dots to the Russia collusion. He's got this nuclear information in the safe at Mar-A-Lago to give to Putin. And it makes sense to them that he was going to do this. I mean, these people are nuts.
This was the goal between Trump and Putin as well.
Hey, have you guys seen that new Elvis movie, by the way?
I have not. I've seen it advertised, but I haven't seen it.
It's on demand.
Great.
Well, it's on demand. I just don't know if it's worth paying for the on demand. If anybody's seen that Elvis movie, let me know. Well, you haven't seen it.
But I've read enough about it to know that it's probably the best film of the summer.
Yeah.
Along with Top Gun.
Yeah, everybody loves Tom. I'm waiting for that to come on demand too. Yeah, Elvis, he's another real man. Elvis Presley. They don't like real men. I was thinking the other day that when Kanye West went and met President Trump in the Oval Office, it's a lot like that Elvis going to the Oval Office to meet Nixon kind of thing. It was equally as wackadoodle.
Actually, reading about Elvis and Nixon, that was he was a pretty good president, really. A lot of people kind of.
Nixon was a great president who did nothing wrong, and he had these. Please, Steve, give me a break. Steve was a.
Did I live?
But but you were a liberal back then, and your outlook on Nixon is through a liberal lens.
There's so many things with all these presidents. They're all human.
What did he do? He had Bill Clinton was raping people. This guy, look what he's taking diamonds from the Chinese. This guy, you're talking to me about giving a few bucks so Liddy can go away? I mean, go on a vacation? Oh, please, suborning perjury. All right. Give me a break.
Fang Fang doesn't take cash. She only takes security.
I mean, here you got Biden sending a crackhead to get diamonds from the CCP, and you're talking about sending the plumbers on a vacation somewhere for a news cycle. Give me a break. Give me a break. Nixon. Okay. Hey, thanks for calling, JJ. All right, callers on hold. Don't go anywhere. After the Gold Report, back with your calls on Open MAGA Mike Friday. I'm Brian Craig. Steve is here. It is the Steve Kane Show. 888-GO-KANE-1's our number. We'll be back right after this. Calls on Open MAGA Mike Friday. I'm Brian Craig. Steve is here. It is the Steve Kane Show. 888-GO-KANE-1's our number. We'll be back right after this.
The longest running radio show in the state of Florida. The Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Oldies 95.3 and 90.
All right, and we are back. It's time to check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated with our final look for the week at the gold and precious metals markets. William Youngerman, how the metals look this morning?
Metals continue to be very stable above these trading ranges, with resistance for gold still around that $1,800 number and silver around $21 number. But that being said, we are still holding nice support levels. Gold yesterday closed trading in a range of $1,783 all the way up to $1,800, closing out today at $1,790 the ounce. That was down $2.40. Silver traded up to $20.73 yesterday and then closed at $20.28 the ounce. That was down 31 cents. Platinum trading up to $984 and then closing up $12 on the day at $956. With palladium also up $34 at $2,210. This morning we see gold trading in a range so far from $1,785 to $1,795. Right now gold trading at $1,792. That's up $2. Silver up 17 cents at $20.45 the ounce, while platinum's down $5 right now at $9.51, and palladium is down $10 at $2,200 the ounce. Oil $92.
Let me ask you, William Youngman. I was talking to someone that I know earlier this week who's a silver guy, and they got a lot of it, and it's kind of, well, they're running out of space for more of it, and you know what I mean. They got it in boxes, they got it in the closet, they got it. Does there come a point where someone can come in with silver and start to move into gold using that silver to buy the gold with?
Absolutely. Many of our customers do that from time to time, trade their positions around, move silver into gold, gold into silver, silver into platinum. Anything we can trade any way you want. There's no tax ramifications when we're trading bullion for bullion. So it's a good way to move your positions around or balance the positions if they're out of balance.
Yeah, so if you're cleaning out the silver, because you know how silver can be bulky, right, Steve? It can be bulky, and gold is shiny and smaller. All right, so listen, William Youngerman opens up at 10 a.m. weekdays, and no matter where you're located, he can do business with you. You don't have to stop in, but you can, and if you do, it's a museum over there at William Youngerman's. It's really a lot of cool stuff, coins, old money. It's really a museum more than it is a coin shop. The address is 150 East Palmetto Park Road, right here in Boca, on the first floor of the Bank of America building, immediately east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. Online at williamyoungerman.com, or give him a call, toll free, 1-800-327-5010. 1-800-327-5010. All right, William Youngerman, we'll talk next week.
Okay, have a great week.
You too. Back after this.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, we are back. Open MAGA Mike Friday on the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian. Steve is here, all better. No more diverticulitis. Until next time. You know, you do that to yourself because you don't obey the diet rules, I think, right? There's like, you're not supposed to...
Weak on diet.
Yeah, you know. It could be worse. You could be like Hunter and be weak on crack and hookers. You know, you're just drinking dairy. So, give me a break. Had a bagel with some seeds on it or something. I don't know. All right, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. That's the number, 888-465-2631. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Carl at Fort Lauderdale. How you doing?
All right, Carl.
Hey, I've been listening to you guys since Hot Stock 1400.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. Wow. Love you guys. So listen, it would be really cool if we could make a video and the music is the backdrop of the Doors. This is the end.
Yeah, I guess it's possible. Yeah, that.
End for the Democratic Party.
Well, you know, this has been. I can't stress enough how this moment at the break-in of Mar-A-Lago is an awakening. You know, Trump came down the escalator, and there was a big awakening of people that were Democrats their whole lives that voted Republican for the first time with President Trump when he came down the escalator. And this break-in of Mar-a-Lago is a second event like that. There are so many people that are waking up. You know, you got the wokesters out there, okay, and you're not going to get through to the wokesters, but there are a lot of Democrats that are freaked out by what they just saw this week. And I don't know, but Merrick Garland did not look happy yesterday. He did not.
You think?
Yeah, did he? I mean, did he look off to you?
Just a little.
Yeah, he looked pained.
Oh yeah, their foundation's definitely crumbling.
And when he came out and his concern was the integrity of the FBI, I mean, nobody wanted to hear that. What we wanted to hear was, what did they go in for and what did they get? That's it. And he didn't do it.
Exactly.
All right. All right, Fort Lauderdale, take care. Long-time listener, back to the 1400 days.
And the story is a whopper.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
And then I like when he said, well, we had a warrant because there was probable cause. Well, we knew that already because you had a warrant. You know, and they got a crooked judge. You know, he didn't take questions because that'd be rough. I give you an example of a question that he doesn't want to, other than, you know, what did you get and all this stuff. No. Well, they got this warrant from not a federal judge, from a federal magistrate. A federal magistrate is not a federal judge. They're like a judge's assistant. They're like a paralegal for a federal judge. They do the tiny little tasks that a federal judge, which is a presidential appointment, doesn't have time for. That tells me that they couldn't get a federal judge to sign off on it. They had to find some Epstein lawyer. Obama donor. I mean, they couldn't even find a real judge to sign off on the warrant. And this is a big one. I know you can get a warrant from a magistrate, but this is a big one. There has never in the history of the United States been a president's home broken into like this, ever. You know? And you don't go to some Epstein lawyer magistrate for that. You go to a real federal judge. You know?
Like to second guess Donald Trump. Notice how the great restraint that he has shown here, leaving them twisting in the wind. Sometimes the best thing to do is just sit back and let everybody observe what's...
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly what's happening now. They're twisting in the wind.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
It's a thing.
Oh yeah, I mean this is playing right into our hands. Now I want to tell everyone though a little bit though about Mar-A-Lago tomorrow, and this is the media are taking up all the parking spaces near Mar-A-Lago. Okay, so if you're going to go there tomorrow, be prepared to walk a little bit. Okay, and I know it's not the most fun. Go early before it gets too hot. The media are taking up all the spaces, and I'll tell you something. One thing they're doing, which I saw some members of the media breaking the law. They have their Chevy Suburbans, which is like the biggest SUV you can have. You know, right? Why they're telling us we have to drive electric vehicles. And I saw 2 members of the media parked in handicapped spaces without the handicap placard. And I don't know if I'm going to let that go this time. If I see that this time, I might have to tell one of those Palm Beach police officers that they're illegally parking. I mean, there are people that need those disability spaces are for people who need them, not some entitled fat cat from the military or from the media who thinks that the rules don't apply. I mean, the media, they're just arrogant. They're arrogant people. And you know what? It's all fake news. They don't do any reporting or anything. They sit in their cars in the air conditioner, read the internet, and then come out every couple hours and do a report. There's no one with Mar-A-Lago behind them. It's pathetic. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Well, I'm enjoying my Brooklyn bagel. Judge to sign off on this.
The federal magistrate.
Right. And then the...
There's a reason they... Yeah, go ahead, Steve.
Why couldn't they get a judge to sign that instead of a magistrate?
Is that a question? Because, I mean...
Yeah, you got an answer?
Yeah, I got an answer.
Let's hear it.
For federal magistrate Warren, he's the first one to go to it. He was appointed, you know...
Oh, no, oh. How did he become a federal magistrate? Who appointed him?
Obama?
Nope. You don't even know what you're talking about. Obama. No, he was an Obama donor. No. No. I don't care what you do know. I want to get to this. How does a federal magistrate become a federal magistrate? It's political. No, you don't even know what you're... Now you're just babbling. It's not a presidential appointment. They're hired by the court. They're just a hired person. Like, you know, they're not... It's not a federal judge. When you've got something big, you run it by the real judge, and it gives it more credibility. And the fact that they couldn't get a real federal judge, and federal judges are presidential appointees, all of them, the fact they couldn't get a federal judge to sign off on it tells you how weak it is.
Democrat wouldn't sign off on it.
That's right.
You're not saying this judge is corrupt.
You're bad.
Yes, he's correct. He was defending Epstein people. What kind of sleazeball does that? I've known defense attorneys, and they will not they'll represent murderers, but they won't represent sex offenders. But he did. I know, it is unbelievable. I know it is. It is unbelievable. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good.
From West Palm Beach.
Hey, West Palm. What's up?
I just have a question about for all the right side and conservative broadcasters. When are we going to stop giving the FBI rank and file credit? Because these guys are the henchmen that are carrying this stuff out. You hear this every day. It's only the leadership. It's only the leadership. It's only the leadership. Well, it's not. It's not. 100 agents showed up over there, and they did what they were told. But when you're told to do something that's wrong, you say no.
I think the line you're searching for is, they were just following orders.
That's what I'm tired of hearing.
Yeah.
Because as far as I'm concerned, it's us against the government.
All right, okay, I appreciate it. Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Hey, Jim.
Real quickly, you guys asked about that Elvis movie.
Mm-hmm.
Absolute home run.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Myself and my 15-year-old boy went to see it, and my 15-year-old, trust me, he's not one of these Glee types. He's like a sports dude and all that. He loved it.
I'll tell you, I'm not sure this is true or not, but if you know the answer to this, we got a minute or two left to call in. Was Elvis's last concert here in South Florida? Was it at the Sportatorium, the old, that's torn down, the old Hollywood? For some reason, I think Elvis's last concert was here in South Florida. That somebody let me know, because I know Jim Morrison, that famous thing where he got arrested was at the Hollywood Sportatorium, Steve, down the street from your house. I don't know about that. If someone knows where Elvis's last concert was, you only got about a minute, so you have to get him with the delay.
I thought it was the Mid-South Coast.
Oh,
that's a great movie. The second thing, this thing with Trump, the backlash is amazing. I love it. And like you said yesterday, even Andrew Yang is out there, and he's a lunatic lefty. So when they're out there criticizing.
That's why I hear a lot of people pissed off on the radio, conservatives and on other shows, and I'm just not. I'm happy. This is beautiful. It played right into Trump's hand. I mean, I guess I could pretend to be angry and start screaming like Mark Levin, but this is beautiful.
At my kid's practice the other night, and I see it come across my phone, and I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. And I'm driving home listening to Levin, and I'm getting wound. I'm getting really pissed. And Tim Scott came on and did just exactly what he did to you yesterday. He wouldn't really come out and say that he disagrees with it, like fully, right? But then once all this other stuff started coming out in the last couple of days, I said, okay, you know what? Good. They really piss people off this time.
And I'll tell you, Tim Scott, Steve, I watched some interviews with him yesterday just to check him out. He is no longer on the Rhino watch list. I've moved him to the Rhino list. He's not a MAGA guy. He went to the White House to criticize Trump for what he said after Charlottesville. What the hell? He said what Donald Trump said was perfect after Charlotte. There were some good people there, and I don't mean the skinheads and white supremacists. But yeah.
But there was bad people on both sides, and
that's what. And Tim Scott's going to the White House to reprimand President Trump. How dare he? All right, Jim from New York, no longer in New York, like most good New Yorkers here in Florida. All right, that's it for the week. I'm Brian Craig. Steve Kane is here. The phones are ringing. Probably people telling us where Elvis's last show was, but we're out of time. But we'll be back on Monday, guys. Take care. God bless America. And, of course, God bless Donald Trump, the greatest president ever. See you Monday. All right. Hey, guys. Thanks so much, everyone, this week. I just want to say before I go, we broke the 50,000 subs this week. That's because of you guys, because you're the subscribers to the channel. Thank you so much. In fact, we broke 51,000 subscribers this week, and that's because of you, and I really appreciate all of your support for me and my channel and all of my content. All right, guys? Take care. Our clock's not matched?